Yeah, welcome to match day number 2. Hey everybody, welcome to the 5P Universe Team Pro League, the 5PL. We are here with you Sunday morning. Live bowling is back on TV. Yes, YouTube is TV, but YouTube you can be streaming on any device, so it's fantastic. Happy to be back. Match day 2. I am Daryl Bradley. A lot of you seen me around before, and obviously a lot of you definitely seen our commentator Greg Giglia. Greg, thanks for joining the show today. Welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it. It's pretty cool setup you guys got going here.
Yeah, so we brought you in, Greg, today. We've got a bunch of the Dream Crushers that are playing themselves, and that's the other 5PNU crew. So bear with us, people. I'm in the background. Going to hopefully add the banners and the little things that go across the screen and all these fun things in there, and don't mess it up too much. So it should be a good day. We've got a great setup of matches, obviously, today. First match, the Heartland Kingpins bowling out of Stettler against the Okanagan Eclipse, bowling out of Kelowna, and then Vernon, sorry, my bad. Yeah. And then we've got coming up after that, we've got the 5PU Dream Crushers playing the Okanagan Eclipse, and then the last one, of course, the Heartland Kingpins playing the 5PU Dream Crushers. So pretty packed match. Yeah, Greg, excited about this? I mean, a little bit newer, but gonna be a good day.
Absolutely. I think it's to be able to connect with bowlers all across the country like this and play in these matches. I think it's awesome. I like the idea that making the Eclipse get up early today.
Yeah, that's it's a 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yes, Alberta rules everything across for bowling people, so we set it up to our timeline. But Okanagan is, of course, 8 a.m. They're an hour behind, so of course the boys were there 7 a.m. setting up and getting things going. So I'm sure they're eager to start playing. We got lots of time to talk ourselves, Greg. So let's we'll bring in our managers for the first match, and we'll get them set up and get them going. So let's bring in Bailey Lawson from the Okanagan Eclipse and Robert Gallagher from the Heartland Kingpins. Guys, welcome. You ready to get things going here today?
Morning, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, you bet we are.
Bailey, quick question for you is, you guys did have an exhibition match. Does that give a bit of comfort to knowing that, you're ready to play, you got the lineup, you got some of those things going, a little bit easier settling down for the team?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a cool experience with this whole format because it's so new. So we all got to experience it, and everyone's just been itching to play because of COVID and stuff. So everyone's ready to go.
Now, Okanagan, you were the away team, and you've set your lineup. Anything you can share about us on your lineup, or who the initial bench player is going to be today?
I chose to start Trevor on the bench. He's a phenomenal bench player. He comes off firing all the time. We have a few good bench players, but I decided to go with Trevor. Mike, he's a phenomenal anchor, so I chose to stick him anchor. He's like the pinnacle of consistency, so that's probably my biggest decision.
Nice. And your lead off, and then you've got Trevor to come on, if you will, and then you have one player, the Drew, that's on your roster, but Drew, from what I understand, not available today, not there.
No, he's working up north, so.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you. And Robert, how about you? You've got a little bit of a lineup issue we heard about here last minute, unfortunately. Tell us more there.
Yeah, Jen Baker not able to play today. She's ill, and it's too bad. She's been bowling so well here lately. We're definitely going to miss her, but we got a lineup that we think we're okay with, and we're good to go.
Well, you've got some veterans there, right?
We do.
Gino's obviously a veteran, been around a couple of years. Shauna's obviously had an outstanding last. Yeah. Right, Shauna's had an outstanding last handful of years playing Masters and a number of big team events, so she's definitely great. And Eric, obviously, that you've got down at Acre, a great player too. So the other ones, AJ and whatnot. Sean, obviously, Schwartz too, right? It's been around. He can play. Yep. So that's the beauty about this league is that anybody can play on any given day.
That's right. They all can play. That's for sure. They all can put things together sometimes, and hopefully it's today.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we won't take too much of your time. I know the guys are eager to get going. Obviously, quick rules is you can't move on to the next frame until the previous team is done. So you'll have to watch your streams in the back. Other than that, there's no rules, but you just have to wait to move on from frame to frame. Each match is worth 1 point. Team total is worth 3. You guys know the rules. So
You bet.
with all that said and done, you're good to go, gentlemen. Best of luck. Good bowling. What did they say?
Right.
The next ball you throw counts? Is that something like that? We'll have to come up with a new tagline for the league, right?
Right on.
All right. Remember, there's a commercial after frame 5, and we'll chat with you after the game too.
You bet. Good luck, man.
All right. Have a good game, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll move them out of the stream, Greg. They'll be good to go. We're gonna fire up this guy onto there. We'll put the league into low out. So let's take a look here quickly as they get set up of the. And we'll do a little lineup. So we got Gino starting off. No surprise there. Hey, Greg.
Nope, not at all.
Gino's been around a number of years. Typically likes to be leadoff or anchor, would probably say, in the two. You've, Greg, obviously bowled to some of the guys here in the central zone that you know.
You always want your leadoff bowler to be really consistent, and I mean Gino is the mark of consistency and starts off with a strike.
Yeah, so let's just take a quick look here at the lineups. So on the left side, you've got the Eclipse team: Bailey Lawson, Kelsey Cooch, Drew Soroka, Alan Byrne, Chris Bradford, Trevor Wachkowski, Mike Elder, and then manager Bailey's pulling double duties.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for Shauna to throw here, and then we'll pull up the next one.
And Bailey getting a right corner pin right off the bat. You always love to start with a corner pin right off the bat.
Yeah,
Test your nerves right off the bat.
Well, I think Andy unfortunately missed it, but you're right. I mean, you want to start off with a pocket shot, right? You probably don't want to have to pick a corner to start with, but
yeah, that's right. I was that's not how I ever want to really start, is have that corner pin.
Yeah.
And probably right corner pin for right-handers isn't the favorite either. So good for Sean. And then if you do pick it, obviously then you're feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Kingpin's roster: AJ Bossman, Shauna Pierre-Lisnay, Sean Schwartz, Gene Zebar, Jen Baker, Eric Jose, Jackie Anderson's our spare, and then Robert Gallagher is our manager.
There you go. Good start for AJ there.
From what I hear too, AJ has a bit of an injury that dealt with this week. There's a question of if he was going to be able to play. There was a request sent in for perhaps replacement and injury reserve list. And obviously after much discussion from the executive, we didn't allow a replacement to be made. The league is set up that you do have 7 players on a roster, and hoping that at least 5 out of the 7 are available to play at any time. So unfortunately, we didn't allow for that, but AJ's obviously was able to deal with his injury. Hopefully it's a couple of quick games here that's not going to be too much further damaging for him.
So interesting, Kelsey being a bocce bowler.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You don't see a lot of heavily competitive bowlers throwing bocce, but obviously it works for her.
And that's the thing, right? Any style could work for anybody. As long as you perfect it and master it and model of consistency, then that's what makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Greg, one of the comments you had mentioned earlier too was the uniqueness of the event, that we're live streaming this. So we've got a team in Vernon and we've got a team in Stettler, and that presents its obvious challenges of the people are playing in different houses.
Yes, I think nowadays the houses, generally you don't find a lot of big swings in the houses. A lot of them are a lot more consistent. They used to be. Now with just about everything being acrylic and so forth, right? You're not seeing a lot of big switches, big changes as far as like wood base and
could you tell what's Heartland dealing with there? Is that wood lanes, bases, any of the things there? Do you know what adjustments?
They're synthetic.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's got synthetic up to the lane guards there.
And obviously so does Vernon at Lincoln Lanes there.
Yeah. Nice shot there by Mike. Good solid shot for your anchor.
Yeah, so
Always
now they're
good
able to move on. Interesting, some of these guys, and actually it looks like, I would say, four of the five that are playing right now for Okanagan were all at Calgary at the Autumn Open. So that's a WCBT event.
Yeah.
Western Canada Bowling Tour, professional tour circuit, cash tournaments, if you will. That they all came out and played. So I got to meet, and I've met them, of course, many times. But Mike and Alan, Kelsey was there, Bailey was there, and Bailey played really well. Made the top 40s. But it's good to see these guys from these teams coming out to play other WCBT events.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. Tough for Bailey. I mean, he shoots like 289 in the last game, and then ends up missing out on the top 40 or the top 16. I mean, you're thinking all I got to do is shoot, a decent game when you're in the top 16 before it, and then you do that, and then all of a sudden a bunch of big games get thrown behind you, and you get knocked out. It's got to be.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Bailey was shooting. Was in 15th or 16th place. I think Bailey and Gino were in 15th, 16th. Bailey shoots a 290. You got to think that that's good to make the cut.
Absolutely.
But you had 17th through 20th, and even a couple one lower. I think Tim Wiseman might have been lower, and he shoots a 356. But they were so jammed into there from 17th to 22nd that a 356 and a 290, there's still 70 pins there that was enough to surpass him.
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys that passed him there. I think Pat Ryan did. There was big last games. And I remember watching Mitch Davies there, and he shot a 256 and dropped from 11th to 16th.
Yeah, and typically it goes the other way. Typically the last game people start to get a little tighter, and the scores tend to come down, not go up.
Yeah.
So I think that says a lot for the way the tour is now, is the confidence that so many of these bowlers have, that, it's just a matter of just go out and executing, where before they used to kind of, take that pressure on more, and now they just seem to be able to accept it and, and thrive with it.
Yeah. It's the tour would say is a lot different from my early years, and I'm not the one that's been on the tour the longest, but it's definitely changed over the years. Very competitive. Cut lines are 2,200, which is averaging almost 275. Obviously, Autumn Open at 40 people on the cut line, it was a little bit lower, but people coming to play these tournaments are looking to shoot 270 minimum to make cuts, and you need to be. There's some unbelievable players across the country that come in and play. You may think you're good at your own little house down here, but once you start playing at a big tournament for 4 days against some of the best across the country, you it's a bit eye-opening. You're into another world.
Well, you play against these guys that have been there enough times that they're confident that they can perform when they need to perform, and they do it. I mean, you look at that 32 spots, and there's probably 13, 15 guys that are there all the time, and the rest of the field is basically playing for those other 15, 16, 17 spots.
Yeah, it's true. And there's guys that have every cut in the last number of years that are making it.
Yeah.
It's a great field out there, a great landscape for competitive five-pin bowling in Canada. More tournaments coming on board. Coming up, we've got Edmonton TPC weekend, November 4th to 7th, which is Sherwood Park, actually. One of the biggest tournaments across the country. We're talking about 150 individual bowlers that are going to be playing. 333 shifts signed up, which isn't even, we don't even have 333 spots available for them to play.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's great to see. Actually, even right now, we've got the Dream Crushers coming up here at 10 o'clock, and they're bowling out of Sherwood Park. And they've got a satellite event happening right now at the lanes. So hello, everybody at Sherwood Bowl who's watching and participating at the satellite. I know there's a lot of things going on there this morning. Wish you well in the satellite, getting ready for the TPC coming up.
Yeah. Well, in this match, it looked like frame one went to the Kingpins, and definitely frame two went to the Eclipse. So we're pretty even again.
Yeah, strikes matter, don't they? You've got to be able to run strikes. We've talked about it lots on various podcasts. Strikes matter. You got to run them. Spares are needed to make cuts, but strikes is what win, right?
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have a string of strikes, 2 or 3 good, decent strings of strikes in an 8-game roll-off to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, those 45 counts are massive, aren't they? Right. So there's a tough one there, Bailey, with the cherry 3-pin, unfortunately. So not the greatest start for Bailey at 58 after 3.
Yeah.
Something we talked about, obviously, in the lineup, that we do have a bench player. So we're able to make one substitution at any point in time in the game, which is, a neat format of this event, is that a coach can make a pull. If a player doesn't look like they're, maybe shooting it or maybe off, or a player might even feel themselves. Sometimes a poll's made early, sometimes a poll is a little bit later in the game, but there's many different reasons why a substitution is made. But it's the reality of this format, and that if you, the C5 open format is what we're playing by here.
Yeah, basically modified mixed team layout.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, right? We have a female on each roster, and the female, with the rules of the league, is that the female has to start the game and finish the game.
Right.
So there has to be a female that starts a game and a female that finishes a game. Today, we only, with Heartland, we do have Jackie available. So if Shauna was to get pulled, she has to get pulled by Jackie, right? Or get substituted. Kelsey, on the other hand, Kelsey is the only female available for the Okanagan Eclipse. So Kelsey has to play every frame of every match for the entire year, because actually on their 7-player roster, she is the only female on the roster.
Yeah, different way of looking at it when they set their team up, right?
Yeah, I think there's a 12-team league, and there's only one other team that might only have one female on the roster.
Right.
There's different reasons. My team played last week. We chose to play one game with one female, and then the other female was the unavailable, because again, the roster of 7, there's 6 players are only available for that match. So one player isn't available. You have to sit them no matter what, if they're all there at game day. And we did that, right? And it, it's fine, but that's the choice of the team to play and how they want to play.
Well, and ultimately, I mean, you want your 5 bowlers on the lanes. You want them all playing well enough that you don't have to use your spare.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest decisions to make. And Greg, you've been there lots of times as a coach. Having to make a substitution isn't what you're going into the game making or thinking about, but it's the reality is that you've had to make some tough pulls. When would the earliest or when would the latest pull that you would have made for a team, Greg?
I think I've pulled as early as 3rd frame, and I know I've put people in the 9th for 9, 10, and so forth.
Yeah.
Just because it's a close match, and if someone was kind of hitting but not scoring, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we need marks at the end to maybe steal a match, then I wouldn't hesitate to put someone in to come off the bench and let them try and steal a point.
Yeah, that sneaky bench player. You often put somebody on there that can just come in and run a bunch of strikes and doesn't really have a lot going on and overthinking things.
Yeah,
you're really expected to come in on the bench and freewheel a little bit, if you will, and just throw strikes, man. If you don't, well, you weren't in the position in the first place, so maybe the pressure's a little bit off. But it's a skill set to come in off the bench and to throw strikes.
Absolutely, and every one of these people, and I mean on any open team, I mean you don't get there by not being a decent player. So you've got the capabilities of coming in and throwing strikes, and I mean sometimes when you've got nothing to lose, it takes a little bit of pressure off as well. So that was a huge triple by Mike there to match Sean's triple. Just for total purposes, right off early in this match.
Yeah, even though they're not playing each other, you still have to have one person pacing another player in the team. That if somebody's going, you better have somebody else going. There's a better ball.
Yeah, and we've done that lots of times where we've said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll take your match, you take my match, and you stay close to him and I'll stay close to yours, just because really you want that total so bad because it's the big 3 points.
There's a better frame for Bradford. Looks like even his first shot was much better, and a solid cover on the spare gives him a mark to maybe get things rolling. And nice cover there by Shauna.
Yeah. Another interesting thing with this format is you're only bowling on the one lane.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously we do that so that the camera setup is a lot easier. We're not rotating cameras and having to adjust a bunch.
Yeah.
But you're right. So if you're the manager or the team, you can choose which bowling lane you're playing on.
Right.
You choose one. Obviously, it looks like they're both down near the wall, right? So 15 or looks like 7 for Heartland, and number 2 for Okanagan. I believe Sherwood, the Dream Crushers, are playing on 15 or 16 even today.
Right. Down at the end.
The environment, as we get going with these shows, we're only on show number 2 here. Lots of little production things and things we learn and as we go and keep moments. But, the atmosphere at the bowling centers, there's another big one for Sean.
Yeah.
Good for him. Way to be steady.
Yeah.
Which, great for Sean. I know that Sean's worked very hard at his game in the last few years. There with Jennifer Baker down in Stettler as well, and working at a Heartland and playing. He's a guy that wants to come to these tour events and make cuts. Sees the game, knows the game, and just maybe hasn't made a ton of cuts, but capable for sure, and has worked very hard at it.
Yeah. So this is a big shot now for Mike to kind of match Sean again here. See if he can match his 4 in a row to start the game as well. Oh, chop off. That's all right.
Oh, chop off, and a nice cover there for Eric.
Yeah.
Game 1, early morning, you get things going. A little bit interesting. The adrenaline may not be pumping. A lot of us are used to the open format, long days, 10 games in a day. You're getting fired up pretty heavy. Is it a hard thing, you think, Greg, in the morning to get going, or are these guys right into mid-season form for an event like this?
Well, probably for the younger guys, it's not a problem. I mean, Gino maybe might be a little more difficult, but for the younger guys,
yeah,
the young guys that just spring out of bed and they're flexible and everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what time Gino would have had to get up this morning.
Yeah, right. Just a bit of a drive, but it's he's a morning person anyways, and has played a lot of early mornings. But it just means to get the competitive juices flowing, right? And really, I mean, and it looks there. Gino's fired up, ready to go. I mean, that's what we want. I mean, our team's playing last week, and we'll do a little week 1 recap. We noticed right away, bring the intensity, bring the tempo right away so that you get yourself into it. Because that's the thing of some of these open formats. You're 10 hours long. You've got to keep your level up all day. Maybe when you're not bowling or not throwing the ball, but definitely when you're throwing the ball and coming off the lane, you want some intensity. You want to fire up the team.
Well, and a lot of this, when you're playing in the Open and at the Masters and that, you've got 100 people around you that are making a bunch of noise and everything. Here, most of these guys are at the center all by themselves. There's nobody else, so there's no other, outside noise to get these guys fired up and everything.
Yeah, that's right. A tough miss there for Shauna.
Yeah.
See a miss there for Bradford. Yeah, so 73 after 5, a little bit tough. I feel like he felt like a little bit of a coat hook. There.
It's all looking back. What do you think?
Yeah. I feel Bailey's probably thinking about himself or Chris next frame, to be honest with you. That's a good shot by Kelsey to come back when she knew a player was probably thinking what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, 30 count, it's big to get those marks together, right? If you can avoid those, head pin strike, head pin, that type of thing, you get those marks together, start getting, 30 counts, 28 counts, that type of thing. It all comes to the end, and then all of a sudden you get you throw a triple at the end, and you got a decent score.
Those 4. Oh, Alan gets a pushover on the corner. That's a happy one too, because he was on the middle there, right, off the first 5 frames. So give him some good kudos there for always being at the middle.
Well, and we've seen how many times this game can switch on a dime, right? All of a sudden you're feeling really good, and a couple of bad shots, you might get tapped on the corner, and then miss it, or you might, get a couple of plows in a row or something. It can switch so fast on us, and we know that. So, you've got to stay as close as you can in these matches early to give yourself a chance at the end.
Yeah, those 8, 9, 10 against you, if you have a couple of strikes, 45 counts, and then you leave a corner. I mean, those are big 45, 43, 28s.
Yeah,
those are big points up there. To come back in a match, and then if somebody else goes, head pin, or then miss side, you're only shooting 30, and the other guy's got 100. There's your 70-point cover, so it can happen really quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big shot for Sean.
Yeah. Okay, got a sparable. I can't really see the total for Eclipse there.
You're right. Yeah,
I'm thinking we're definitely. It looks like based on the amount of marks that Heartland's got a pretty good lead here.
Yeah, you're 230. Oh, thanks. It looks like Carrie might be in the background. Thanks, Carrie. Good job.
Yeah.
Perfect. So our technical wizard guru, Carrie Kreitz, is on the 5-pin U Dream Crushers, and he is playing here soon coming up. So he's in the background, sort of help set up and get things going.
So we got 625 to 480. So yeah, that's quite a, at this point in the match, I mean, again, we're only halfway through the game.
I think we're a 525 there, Greg, but
was that 525? Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, was there going to be a break after 5?
There will. Yeah, we've got just a quick little commercial. We got to pay some bills.
Okay.
And then a couple minutes, and then we're back at it for the second half of the game.
So yeah, you look at the second half, and I mean, the Eclipse already has got a couple of strikes going and a spare up at top. So I mean, they're in a position where if they start off this second half well, they can easily make up that 545, say 550 to 67 pins. It's 65 pins. That's not unachievable. That's for sure, especially if they double up on a couple of those strikes.
You betcha. Okay, let's pay some bills. We'll put some commercial, and then we'll be back at you in a couple here, team.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. And thank you to Cargill and Rusted Petal. They are the sponsors of our divisions. Obviously, appreciate all the support that we can get.
Yeah, that Rusted Petal looks like quite a concept.
Yeah, it's super neat. You know, sort of the paint night theme, I guess, if you will. That
Right.
you come and you do a craft. I think it's a great idea and something that we should do
Yeah.
even virtual. We figure that, or even at a TPC or at an Autumn Open. That's
Yeah.
and a bowler spouse. So great to have the support there.
Yeah.
So there's Gino throwing a double. Gino's right
Yeah.
into it. You know,
Gino matching
motivated.
Bailey, so I mean that match is 27 pins and both on doubles. Anything can happen.
And noted there that we do have a sub here. So Trevor's in now for Chris Bradford in the 5th frame. Heartland Kingpins, I'm sure you've seen that there was a substitution made. Interesting that they started the frame instead of throwing the ball here at the last of the last one. But
right.
Either way, Trevor's in the game, and a nice strike there from Shauna. So
Yeah.
you got to think that the early game jitters are maybe out of the way, and these bowlers have now settled into, we're in a match, throw your best shot, here for the team, and do it. So
Absolutely.
we talk quickly here about the standings after week 1. So we had 3 teams from the Rusted Petal division play. And that was the Toppler Roses, the Next Gen, and the BPG Bombers. Topplers come out on top, so they won both their matches. Next Gen won 1, and the Bombers didn't win either. But they were all 3 really close matches within 50 sticks. So nobody got blown out, and nobody really ran away with it. But it was fantastic for week 1 to be back in action, team environment, throwing really meaningful balls. So I think that even gives a sense to these guys now playing in week 2. Like this league has happened. We're moving on. We can see how important this is. This is big for the landscape of 5-pin bowling across the country.
Yeah, no, like I said, the whole concept of it, and I can see this easily after people see this and get excited about it, getting on board and having more teams going forward for sure.
So the obviously idea was that last year we would have been running it last year, but we all know what happened in the world that prevented us. A lot of different provinces had restrictions, weren't able to be in there. When the original concept of this started, there was for sure Manitoba, maybe 1 or 2 other provinces that weren't open altogether. So when teams signed up, they weren't able to get a team in. It quickly filled to 12 teams. So, of course, we joke with our friends in Manitoba. Hi, anybody in Manitoba that's watching. Sorry, we don't have you a team. But we definitely have a couple of teams interested from the Winnipeg area. They would want to be in. Dawson Creek wants a team in. So we'll run it this year, and then we'll look to potentially expand next year and get bigger and better. Obviously, there's franchise fees. There's, teams. It's a professional league, no different than any of the other professional sports out there. That give us a year, get our feet under us, another year of expansion, another year, commissioners, and all these things that'll come together. It'll be a big thing for the sport.
Yeah, no, and I you take an opportunity for these players in these remote areas to be able to play against some of the best bowlers in our game. That when else would you ever get that opportunity? I mean, there's lots of spots where you've got some good, strong bowlers, but don't get an opportunity. I mean, travel costs, all kinds of things like that, prevent people from getting to some of these events. But I mean, it's a good way to showcase their talents.
And there are a lot of great bowlers across the country. So there's Gino gets the push for the triple, big pit triple there.
And Bailey answers.
Good job, guys. Well done. That's what we want to see. Yeah, and we saw that, Greg, with the 8-gamer that we ran a virtual. So that was a singles competition, and we ran that across the country, and 240 entries from all over the country. And we saw some really amazing bowlers that we wouldn't normally see at a lot of these CAF tournaments for exactly the reasons you just said. Yeah, no,
like I said, the whole idea that I was watching some of that last night too, and it was wild.
Nice double there from Shauna, and Trevor, coming in off the bench, so he throws a strike. So that's a big potential now. He can get a chance to come in and run a bunch. You never know what happens in that match. And Kelsey throws a strike too. So look at her with 4 marks in a row, 90 count here since the third. A couple of punches, but able to find some marks together, stringing them.
Yeah, I mean,
Bit
good
of
start
control
for the Eclipse. Equally good start for the Kingdoms out of Stettler.
Yeah.
There you go, 4 straight strikes for the Eclipse. That's exactly how you want to.
Almost get yourself to the commercial break and settle in, take a deep breath, have a sip of your coffee, and back half of the game.
Yeah.
A lot of learning lessons here in this for the teams, for the players, for the production side of things. Learning how important this actually is. We all know, and we want to put the best forward. We want to do this, but once you get actually down in there into the mix and into the pit and start throwing meaningful balls, you really can't judge how important it is.
I see Jackie just came in for AJ.
Yeah. And a good time for, pull. Robert got her a ball on the third, so she has to throw a ball before she has to go up for a strike. That's always something I think most players would probably appreciate, that she gets a warm-up ball. A little tough pushing for AJ. I wonder if his injury might have had something to do anything there. But big shot here from Sean to keep his game going. Oh, got tapped a little bit on the corner.
So, Daryl, if someone wanted to watch this, where would they have to go?
Exclusively being streamed through YouTube. All the links can be found on any of the Facebook pages, or a lot of people are sharing it, but it's being streamed to YouTube. So if you are watching right now, you're obviously on YouTube. Share this. Please like the page, subscribe to the page, share it, make comments. The more exposure we can get, the better. If you can share it even to your Facebook page and say, "Hey, we've got some bowling going on Sunday morning," that's great. So all Sunday mornings it'll be live streamed to YouTube.
Is there they got a schedule out?
There is a schedule, and it really is based around a lot of the other tournaments that are going on. So of course, in the bowling world, there's cash tournaments, there's masters events, there's open qualifying. So the guys have done a really good job of looking at the master schedule and trying to coordinate. And of course, remember here, we got 12 teams across the country at different time zones. So our commissioner's been hard at work trying to set the schedule. There's been some adjustments and some modifications, but for the most part, the schedule is set. And I'm just looking up the next date. Oh, I don't have it here. I know I can find it. I'll find the next date. It's not. It might be next weekend, but we do have a TPC coming up in 2 weeks, so it could be next weekend, Halloween weekend.
Right.
We'll find that out.
Yeah. So as a coach, I'm looking at the clips here, and I'm seeing they've got 4 strikes going, and I'm hoping out of those 4, I get at least 2 doubles off of that, and then Gino starts off with he throws another strike, so that gives them 4 in a row, and I mean they've already got 1 double going and they've got 1 counting, so they're I think the Eclipse are going to have to capitalize on this frame here to give themselves a chance to get back into this match.
Yeah, absolutely. You want those doubles, like you said, Greg. That gets you a chance of getting your 45 counts, which are massive. And that's what Gino's doing, is running a couple of 45s. And Shauna's got the opportunity to do the same thing here too herself.
Yeah. And she does. Yeah.
And she does.
Probably not the smoothest shot I've ever seen her throw, but
but she sure gets the spin rate on it, right? And that's something that Shauna's gets it out on the lane, that doesn't doesn't lay it down, and he doesn't take any of this spin, and really works the finger action on that to make sure that the ball is once it hits the head pin, that it's making adjustments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it? No. Okay.
And a nice chop off from Jackie, right? So she's come in now and has thrown a ball. So we do have a match on Halloween weekend. We are looking at the most up-to-date.
Good spare by Jackie.
Match. Nice, good for
spare by Kelsey.
So next weekend, October 31st, we do have a match. We've got the Timmins Mighty Plex playing versus the Grand GP Holy Rollers. And then we also have the T-Bay Bowling Club playing. And so the three of those teams will play 2 matches each next weekend. So a couple out-of-towners playing Timmins, Northern Ontario, and T-Bay Bowling Club. You've got the Al Paquettes, you've got the Greg DeGrazias, you've got some big players from Northern Ontario that will be playing next weekend. Every week is going to be big matches. All these players that are playing on these teams are solid.
So they play a round robin inside their division?
Every team plays 8 matches. So yes, a round robin within your own, and then 3 other matches against teams from the other division. So you don't play everybody once.
Right.
Just 8 games.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got a 64. So remember, we're playing for 5 individual points. Each player. So Gino is playing against Bailey for 1 point. Sean versus Chris for 1 point. AJ versus Kelsey 1 point. So you got 5 individual matches up there, and then the team total is worth 3 points. So for a total of 8 points. So Greg, that team total is so important. Even if you're out of your match, you've really got to make sure that you're getting every pin possible. Correct?
Absolutely. I mean, if you can win, even if you win 2 matches and get those 3 points, there's 5-3, right?
And it happens. It happens. You have 2 guys like Gino potentially here running away with a monster score. Could really win team total for your team.
Yeah, Gino and Sean, and yet those other matches are still within reach. I mean, Chris is going to need to run it out, I think. And it looks like, and Mike's got a pretty good handle on the anchor match. So,
yeah, something to keep in mind here for anybody watching the scores up there. As Gino goes, unfortunately, a punch in 9. So that's a bit big for Okanagan to see Gino stop his run.
Yeah.
Something that we notice is that on the scores at Heartland on the right side of your screen, they do not accumulate scores with marks. So those 2 strikes up there, for example, for Shauna right now, that's 45 points. We know it's not added into the team total.
Yeah.
Same thing, but other side for the Okanagan Eclipse, it is added into the score. So you look at down at Allen with 2 strikes, so 145 with a double. That 45 guaranteed is sitting there at 190. So it's a little bit misleading in the team totals. We'll keep you as close as up to date as possible as we get going into the matches. But Gino with the 263, by no means has that match locked up, but maximum for Bailey's a 283, so it's looking pretty good for Gino.
Yeah, and we seem to have lost the feed for the Eclipse there.
Oh, we did, yeah. It looks like we're working on it in the back end, so it looks like...
But Shauna right there, I mean, obviously that was an opportunity for Chris. If Chris could have thrown that, or I guess Trevor could have thrown that 3rd strike there, he might have had a chance to catch Shauna with her opening up. It'd have been tough, but you don't know.
So we do have technical guys on this looking at it. Carrie is in communication, chatting there with Kelsey and the crew in Bailey in Okanagan. Yeah, so I mean, there's you a couple of strike runs, Gino and Sean that had 4 and 3, and they've both stopped their runs.
You definitely want to keep getting marks even on that. Even if you come off your strike with a chop spare or miss spare, as long as you keep those marks together, which is exactly what Sean's been doing, just lots of marks together, and it's just amazing how that score just seems to accumulate.
Yeah, you want something spareable after a run of strikes, don't you? You want to be able to keep it going. A corner or a chop off, or you don't want to miss, because that takes away the points on that first strike. But you definitely you're looking to throw a corner or another pocket shot just to keep those running for that 43
Absolutely, counts. Keep that feel going. That keep the confidence up. Absolutely. John looks like he's throwing with a lot of confidence right now.
He does, yeah. A little good rotation on the ball.
I think he's, from what I remember, even as late as last year, I think he's brought his speed down quite a bit. He's not near as fast and doesn't seem to just be. He used to be, one of those guys that just threw the ball as hard, virtually as hard as he could type thing. And he seems to be in way more control than he used to be.
Yeah, exactly. In control is a good word, right?
Yeah.
And maybe realize that in order to work on my game, I've got to add a bit of finesse.
Yeah.
Maybe not the right word for sometimes the bowlers, but
yeah,
it is. You got to slow things down, regroup a little bit.
Yeah.
Throw good shots rather than just all power shots.
That's it. Yeah, get that consistency, right? You got to try and keep those lows a little higher and those the highs a little more consistent. Keep those bad games.
Yeah.
Get those bad game scores up, right?
A lot of it goes too into your approach. That's a confident shot there when Eric shows and he does the finger wag. But a lot of it is in your body and in your approach. Steady footwork, solid at the line. Reaching through to your target. Getting your lift. But really, it's you can't be walking all over the place. Nice strike there for Kelsey, big.
Yeah.
You can't be walking all over the place and expecting to get good results. You have to be consistent and strong in your body.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, that's what you want. I mean, we all of us in this game have been fighting with speed forever because we tend to get a little too quick. And as soon as you get a little quick, your timing's off. And next thing you know, either the ball is flat or you're just not able to hit what you're aiming for. So, oh no.
Alan with the aces.
Oh, no.
Did it stay left?
I think that was the 3-pin slid over.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that was the 3-pin that slid over because it looked like it was in the
it was. So we just heard Bailey say, "Alan, hang on, you got 10." What an unfortunate break for that spot.
Yeah, that's sucks. And how is that match? Well, I mean, it's.
Yeah, Sean's sort of taken it quite a bit there. We don't see the team total again on Okanagan's score.
Right.
I think our tech guys or the Bailey might try to see if they can get the team total in there.
Yeah.
But
I know as a coach, every time we go to an event, we always have to learn how the scoring system works because exactly what you pointed out. I mean, you think, holy man, we're closer than we think. But if they've got 3 or 4 doubles going, you're not that close. But without realizing it, right?
Oh, almost. Okay, so takes the big one. Tough one for Alan there. A little bit behind now in his match.
Yeah. Yeah, again, 145, 183, 25. I mean, he had an outside chance at catching Sean, but
big one here from Mike.
Absolutely.
The Eclipse are down overall in their match, but this double going home in your anchor position is big.
Yeah. Well, this is that second point. I mean, it looks like they're in control of the third match there. But this is a second point. I mean, you want to, at this point, you're trying to get as many points as you possibly can. They've got an outside chance at game one here, Bailey and Gino, and then a chance for Kelsey and Mike. So if you can get 3 out of this, I mean, that's the next best thing to win in total.
Yeah, for sure it is. Every point, every ball counts.
And Gino knows 30 in this frame will shut him out. So, there you go.
Tough way to finish for Bailey, not obviously ideal. So match number 1 will go to the Heartland Kingpins.
Yeah.
Gino, our elder statesman of the
the
team and the tour. Well, Alan Byrne might be up there too, but
yeah.
Talk about Gino just for a sec. I mean, fantastic little run there, the Autumn Open. The one that's eluded him, I bowled with him in the qualifying and was very steady all day. Qualified, was really close into the top 40s. I know one that he would have wanted to make it to the 16s. But I've got to be happy with his performance.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's been a cornerstone of this of our competitive events for a long time. So it's he just doesn't seem to age, and he's never given up. So
his compete level is definitely right up there with the best.
Yeah, for sure. 291.
291. Great job, Gino.
Yeah.
Versus Bailey's 232. So we're a 59 pin difference there.
Yeah. So this is big. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, nice way to come in there for Trevor. Bailey had confidence in him coming in off the bench, and 4 strikes so far out of 5 frames. So
yeah, nice
work there. Shauna, nice strike in 10. Obviously looking for a mulligan maybe in the 9th frame. Right?
Yeah. That's right.
I think there'd be a lot of money paid for some mulligans sometimes.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, that was really good of Trevor coming in there, like you said. That one, one frame and that was the one we didn't see because that was when the cameras went down. So
yeah.
But this is big for Kelsey. Just get something on the side to
she got it.
That match. Yeah.
Nice work, Kelsey. Good job, Shauna. Yeah, good to see some scores coming out of Heartland, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Alberta Masters, you guys have played out of Heartland for a lot of tournaments, so we know that there's scoring capability there. Good job for Robert Gallagher, the club. And I know that Heartland is, really looking to build this in their community of Stettler.
Yes.
People come support the Kingpins. It's a professional team. Obviously there's no professional NHL team there or anything, but minor league sports. But now there's a professional 5-pin bowling. So gather around the team, the community, potential merchandise that they're looking at doing. But Heartland Kingpins, pro team out of Stettler. Good job, Shauna. And overtakes Gino for high game.
Yeah. I bet you that feels good.
And well done for Kelsey. A nice, solid game for her too, and really put at ease the thought for the Eclipse having her as the only female.
Right.
Things get nervous a little bit if Kelsey maybe shoots a 160. Right. I'm not saying she's going to, but she, But to have a 277, the confidence is there. We're not worried. She's going to be throwing big games.
Yeah. Well, she had 11 out of 12 hits.
Yeah.
And 1 miss and 3 headpins, and I mean. That's a pretty steady, well thrown game. Threw good balls on doubles, and that's all you can ask for. 241 for Allen, respectable. Jackie's going to get one more ball there. Well, this is a big shot here for Mike to basically take a chance out of.
Oh, tapped on the corner.
Yeah, that was a nice ball. 233, 261, 274. Yeah. So that's basically he shut him out with that shot. I think he's 166 in a strike, so his max is 256. So he's going to nice there.
Nice, yeah.
Good thing he leaned that far.
So we'll get 2 points for sure.
Yeah.
For Okanagan, so we're looking like a 6-2 match. Solid shots by Sean. Great game for Sean to come into play too. Right, everybody wants to start off well.
Yeah.
Some big games.
293 for Mike. Well, and Sean's never played the Open or the Masters, so this is his real first opportunity to play in a match play.
Yeah. And he would add another quality player for the Open out of Central.
Absolutely.
They've got a solid group of players. Yeah. Does it go into the depths of the teens and the 20s, like some of the other zones? But having a guy like Sean play the Open would definitely be a level of strength, right, and depth.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's basically you need the Seans out there in a zone like Central to fill these teams and get the experience so that, other people, if people that Sean's bowled with, and all of a sudden he's participating in those events, they become curious and they want to know about it. They start following it because Sean's on it, and it just generates more interest.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, he's working on his game, so it's not like this has just been handed to him. He's been obviously working very hard on it. So,
I don't see the total for the Eclipse, so we'll have to work on that. I'm pretty confident they didn't have the total. So 293. I mean, that's 130 pins.
they're 90 down, and then 60, 90, 60, 180.
What does the team total say for?
I can just
241, 293. I don't think we're in. I don't want to state something wrong here, but I mean, Mike's winning by 100 pins. Kelsey won by 90 pins. So that's 190. 1268 looks like we have. So we had a 1289 there for Okanagan. Or 1280. No.
1251.
I see 1268 for Heartland.
And I think I've got 1251 for.
Okay, so look how close that ends up. 1268 to 1251. We'll get that adjusted next time so that we can see that score all the way along.
So really, if it comes down to Mike, if he throws that double in 10, it could have been enough, and Eric not punching. So
Alan had a punch there too, right? So but he cleaned it up. But okay, well, good match, guys. We're gonna bring in our managers. We'll make sure that they go get ready. I see Robert is ready. Bailey's gonna head up to there. Let's bring them in and chat about the first match. Let me just move this one, guys. Gentlemen, good solid first match. Robert, you pulled it out. Good match for a couple of shooters. Your thoughts on that first game?
She was a battle the whole way. Ran into a few punches here and there and a couple of misses, but came back, run a few strikes. Gino played well. Eric was throwing good balls, but he was struggling a bit. AJ had punched a bit, so we decided to throw Jackie in, and she did okay.
Yeah, chat about Gino there for a sec. We chatted him here while you were bowling, but to get those 4 strikes, he looked like he was setting the tempo for the team, fired up a little bit as your leadoff bowler. Talk about Gino for a sec.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been doing this how many years? Like he knows how to fire people up, and he was warming up this morning. He was leaving corner after corner after corner, getting a little flustered. We had a chat before we started, and great to see him run a 4-bagger. It's sometimes tough for him to throw a bunch in a row.
Yeah, and then how about Sean? Obviously, solid game from Sean. Had a great start and was able to carry it on for the game too. He's been working really hard on his game.
He did, and last night we had a team practice, team meeting. Sean threw 7 head pins, I think, in the one game, but he took them all out last night and played super well today for Sean. He played really good.
Nice. Well, good job, Kingpins. You're going to get a bit of a break here now, and we'll see you in an hour or so. But stay with us here for a sec. Robert, Bailey, tough one for the first one. I had a couple of guys not really running for the first few frames. Was it? And then obviously settled in and got a couple of matches. Was it a little bit stressful at the start there for you? Oh, you got to take yourself off of mute there, Bailey.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Now you can say your thoughts, buddy.
It was pretty good. We were, I guess, maybe a little tense, a couple of us. I know I missed a couple pretty big spare conversions for the first half of the game. That definitely hurt. But everyone else, Chris struggled a little, but Trevor came in off the bench firing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I knew he would, so that's good. But Kelsey, Mike, they played phenomenal through the whole time. Alan
Yeah, and
was
we had chatted about that with Kelsey being your only female. Obviously, great confidence for you and the team that shoots with 277. You're not too worried about her being the only female when she can come out and play games like that.
Mhm.
Well, it looked like 3/4 of the way through the match, it looked like the Kingpins were way ahead. And then, it comes right down to the end with your guys' strong finish. I mean, you end up missing by 17 pins. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Single
a
ball.
long ways back. But that's how this game goes, right? I mean, you get on a streak, you get one team, the Kingpins have a few plows in 10, a few opens in 10. You guys run some strikes, and I mean, you just about stole the total there.
That's the crazy part about the game. And I'm happy that it was a close game rather than like a 200-point blowout. Those aren't fun to play or watch. So
Yeah, it's another in this format, the 5-pin league, of a very close game. You mean you're within 17 pins. All 4 matches so far have been within 40 or 50 pins. So you're right in the mix. We'll give you a couple minutes here to regroup a little bit, Bailey, because you've got another match coming up against the Dream Crushers. They have already set their lineup. If you want to send that in, set your lineup, and then we'll get you started on the second one. So I'm going to we'll run a little commercial. We'll take a couple of minutes, but we're going to get you guys going right away. Okanagan Eclipse. And Robert, we'll chat with you in an hour.
You bet. Thanks,
All right, guys. Chat in a
game,
sec.
Robert.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks, Bailey.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Plebs. I think these guys are pretty excited to get things rolling. A lot of work put into this. They will be geared up and ready to go. So we're going to bring in the manager for the Dream Crushers, Danny, and we'll get Bailey to come back in too. No, he'll come back in. Danny, we'll start with you. Welcome to the show, the Dream Crushers. Excited to get things rolling over there at Sherwood Park?
Yeah, we're ready.
Hey, Danny, good to see you, man. Try to hold down the excitement, would you?
Yeah, I know.
Are you now, Danny? You're fairly well known for some high jumps and some fist pumps and stuff. Are you going to do that from the back, or how are things going to go out there for you? You're going to be throwing every single ball for the players just as much as they are, or what?
Oh, probably. That's just who I am. So hopefully it'll get a little excitement out there.
Now, chat with us quickly about the lineup. I see it's set there. These guys must be excited. Obviously, you've got Adam and Dexter and Tim and Carrie all on the same team. They're the 5-pin U crew that helped, create this league. We're getting it off the ground. They're probably itching and ready to play. How are things looking there from the player standpoint?
Yeah, I think they're all pretty solid. There isn't really any weak links on the team. I don't think anybody can bowl in any position. They throw a ton of strikes, so I'm just excited and eager to manage such great bowlers.
Nice. And Bailey, for you, game 2 of the day. Guys are ready to go again. Any changes to the lineup? Any adjustments, or what are we making there?
We're keeping Trevor in.
Okay, so Chris will be your coming off the bench player. Okay. So same lineup except for Trevor coming in for Chris.
Yeah.
Good. They've got a game under their belt, so they're warmed up. Let's take it to the Dream Crushers and not let them hold true to their name, right? might be one of the more favorites across the country if we're being honest here. We're looking at the lineups and we're looking at the rosters. The Dream Crushers might be one of the ones that are ranked pretty high, right? They've got some solid players and expecting to do big things. So we'll look for them to have a good first match here out of the gates, guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Off you go. Remember, frame by frame. You can't go on to the next frame before the players are done for the previous team. Have fun. Perfect. We'll see you out there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Okay, thanks. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, let's go like this. We'll go like this. And there we go. We have got, just mute that one. A big match here now going with the Dream Crushers versus the Okanagan Eclipse. Pretty star-studded lineup, if you will, for the Dream Crushers. You've got Victor Folbert, Kerry Kreitz, Katie Rayner, Tim Wiseman, Adam Weber, and then on the bench is Dexter. So that would make Caitlin not available for this game. So Katie, being the only female, will have to play the full game.
Okay.
So if we just should the lineup, so of course there's the lineups, the rosters: Kerry Kreitz, Dexter Wiseman, Tim Wiseman, Katie Rayner, Adam Weber, Victor Folbert, Caitlin Ayub, and manager Danny Clapp. We've seen it before from the Okanagan Eclipse: Bailey Lawson, Kelsey Cooch, Drew Soroka, Alan Byrne, Chris Bradford, Trevor Rachwalski, Mike Elder, and then manager Bailey Lawson pulling the double duties there.
All right. I think we're ready to go.
And the choice there of playing on lane number 16 for the Dream Crushers. On the end, a little bit of room to run it out on the right side.
Yeah.
Away from the action, like we talked about in the first show, is that they've got the YBC playing a 4-steps or a rep team, and we've also got a TPC satellite happening over there. So there's a little bit more action, seems like, going on over a short ball.
Yeah. That looks like a pretty good start right off the bat. See if Bailey can...
Yeah, I would expect... like we talked about, the Dream Crushers are a solid team. These guys can play. They play in all the cash tournaments, all the events, make a ton of cuts, deep runs, titles. They're a solid team. So I would think playing them would have a set of nerves playing against them.
Yeah.
Great leadoff player Victor Folbert. Gotta go down at some point as one of the best leadoff players to play the game. Greg, you've had the luxury of playing with Victor, before in Central. I've coached him through the North, and what a shooter! I mean, that's an amazing addition to that team.
Again, you got a leadoff bowler that's incredibly steady, right? You've got a guy that's going to hit the middle a lot. He's got he's exuberant. That type of stuff. That's what you want in a leadoff bowler. And the Eclipse, had a little rough start here already for the Eclipse, so they're going to want to kind of get some marks that first frame. You don't want to be giving these guys too much of a lead because they're not going to be an easy team to come back and catch. So,
and I'm not surprised at the lineup. I think it's a solid lineup from Danny. Obviously, would have done his research with the guys of what positions they want to play and where they play. But I mean, it's probably where we would probably think end up. Dexter starting on the bench, heck of a bench player.
Yeah.
Very quick in his approach. Isn't gonna have a whole lot of thought, and can obviously play in any position himself. But very comforting to know that he got Dexter Wiseman coming in on the bench.
And young guy come off the bench. I mean, it's easier for them to do. They're already flexible.
Flexible in their position, but maybe not flexible in other ways. We might have a couple of treats for you here too. If anybody's watching and they remember at the Autumn Open, they had a few photos that we're taking. So we've got some production clips that we might be able to add in for our 5-pin you guys that will mix in as we go here. So hope you're having a good day, enjoying the games. Comments are definitely welcome if you're commenting. If you're a bowler, obviously you know what's going on and watch it. If you're not a bowler, I know some of you guys are not bowlers, but you're just watching for the first time. You've seen it shared. You've seen it shared from your friends or somebody on Facebook to watch. So thanks for watching, sticking with us. This is 5-pin bowling, people, and at the highest level that it is, 5-pin bowling.
I've always said that 5-pin bowling looks like such an easy game. I mean, you think about it, you're not throwing a real heavy ball or anything, and I mean everything is stationary. It looks like it should be very simple. But the more you get into it, the more you realize how much there is to it.
And I think becoming even more technical. The game. The lane conditions a lot of them are the same. We find here at Sherwood Park, nice strike there by Bailey. We find at Sherwood Park, the lane conditions are the same on every approach and in every lane. So now guys are starting to play with the ball composition, right? Yeah. Your urethane, your rubber, your whatever the mix of the balls, your star lines, your soft rolls, your hard rolls. I mean, the Comanches. There's all, and I feel that the technical side of it is advancing a lot further now. In the game, more people know what different balls do on their game. Adjustments are easier to make. Yeah,
I did hear that because a lot of these centers have now gone to that smaller base, and the smaller base is actually, it sounds to me like it's a little bit higher, so that makes the band higher off the ground. So a lot of these pros have gone to the 5-inch ball so that the ball is actually hitting in the middle of the band and not shooting the pins up in the air. Well, that's not something I ever even thought of.
Yeah. But that's the truth. Even the 17-inch centers, the pins are closer together. Yeah. The larger ball, the spin rate, I think a lot of people are playing with now too. We saw that a lot in the 10-pin bowling world with a guy like a Jason Belmonte that is the two-handed and really did it to increase the spin rate when you're throwing. Well, the same thing applies for 5-pin. The fingers on the ball and the spin rate when you're hitting the middle will make the pin splatter a bit. Whereas if it's a lot flatter ball, a lot straighter ball, you're not really giving a whole lot of opportunity for the pins to splatter.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's something that's important, and coaches will often say is get your fingers, finish your shot, get your lift, get your reach. You got to finish your shot, and that really comes down to those final little fingers that are on the ball.
And to me, the key to that is your speed. As soon as you get out of sync, it doesn't come natural. I mean, forced finish isn't the same as a natural finish. And if you get the timing right, so that finish is just naturally coming right off your hand, it's amazing the difference in the pin action at the other end. I mean, Tim's a fine example. I mean, he just basically straight back, straight through with good finish and good follow through and hits the middle a lot.
And coming in from the side, obviously the bonus of him being a proprietor there and watches pins and watches bowling all the time. But he's played a lot too, and he's been in some really huge matches and Masters, singles, national championships. I mean, coming in from an angle has perfected it and mastered it. Yeah. Whereas Adam Weber is a bit more straighter of a player, but still plays big fingers and has a little bit of angle adjustment. Yeah. There's no steering involved in the way those guys throw the ball. No, you're throwing it and you're finishing. Yeah, straight follow through, straight finish, but staying aggressive. Yes, without being too quick. Yeah. So if he can just master that, then you'll be one of these guys. Go ahead. It is an easy game. Yeah. Good double by Bailey there. So he's keeping his match close. But what the fingers and the finish, allows you to do is to get those thick hits. Victor just had that thick hit. So once he jams it on the middle, it'll spin off and the pins go splattering, right? Yeah. Whereas a little bit straighter, less fingers might push a chop off like that. So we're talking millimeters here. We're not talking a big difference in any of these shots. And that's the tough thing about bowling is it's such a small margin of difference between all the shots. Yeah. That's always frustrating. And you throw a good ball and get a chop off, and then you throw another good ball and carry it, and you're basically throwing two really good shots, and you got nothing. Got to be one of the more annoying plays in bowling is the cherry. Cherry, the 3-pin. We talked and that might be an Alberta thing, just being the cherry, but let's spread that across the country, people. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's you see that in every national. Everyone gets frustrated because generally a chop off is a really good shot. Yes. You generally hit it on the side and Good shot, Alan Byrne. Well done for the Okanagan Eclipse. First frame is a little bit tight maybe, but have really got them for their feet under them. Yeah, I mean they got and going and really. Yeah. So what's the message there? From a coach standpoint, Greg, for the Eclipse when you're playing the Dream Crushers? How do you approach the game? Well, I think every one of them knows they're going to have to play well to beat this team. And it's just basically stay within yourself and don't try to do too much. Because if you try to do too much, you're going to start trying to throw the ball a little harder or you're going to force it. And you basically, you're capable of throwing strikes. Anybody at any time can beat anyone at this game. So you just need to just play within yourself. Play within yourself and look what they're doing. They're putting a ton of strikes together, a ton of marks together. They got 11 straight marks. So you're right. So the message is play your game, play within yourself, do our thing. We know what the Dream Crushers are going to do. You can't go to play them, and it brings in a different level too. Is that you're not in the same bowling center, so there's none of those little games or sportsmanships or little things that you do and taking your time or what. I mean, there's ways of doing them still, but you got to play your game. So that's the message I think you're saying is that don't worry what they're doing, play your game. I mean, they're pretty intimidating to look. If you were beside these guys on the lane, that's pretty intimidating. By being 800 kilometers away, not as much. Yeah. So because you're in your home, you're in your comfort. There you go. There's the check. Exactly. That's perfect. Those were both perfect. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to have one for everyone. Yeah. Somehow. We'll build on this. So anybody watching here, if you're coming to TPC and you're playing in the 5PL, you're going to be getting some headshots. So yeah. I've got some really good ones of the other guys, but I don't. Bailey has a really, really good headshot, but I wasn't able to get it converted for this weekend. But again, this is part of the production side of things that we're going to continue to improve and work on, and make better. Just make it more enjoyable. And I mean, I think you're going to get a ton of interest from this. I mean, I was excited to watch the first match. Yeah. And it's so cool, right? You get Marcello playing where he's never played in an event like this before. So, and then you get Gino who's played in 100 of them. So, and you talk about Marcello, had the opportunity to play the pro team event and then came out and played the Autumn Open. Let's go like this.
Yes.
Yeah, Kerry, great shot. And Marcello had the opportunity to come play in this event, and then went to the Autumn Open and had an outstanding weekend by all accounts. Didn't make the top 16s, but did in the 40s, making the cut. An amazing performance. So playing in meaningful matches and playing events like this is so important for everybody across. It just gets you the confidence to know that you should belong.
Yeah. Look at the Eclipse. The Eclipse they're flying. This is
great
awesome.
doubles. Good job, Eclipse.
Yeah.
Play your game. Keep throwing your shots. Do your thing.
Exactly.
And Tim's throwing some good shots too. Here, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just the type of guy that he just freewheels, right? He's confident in just getting out there and letting it go, and he knows just keep the speed down and just throw at the head pin.
So Alan gets the chop off Tim with the miss.
That's a good
big
he
chop
spares
spare.
it. That's a
Looks like it just moved on him at the end.
Yeah. Didn't want to chop it. Chariot. Yeah, good cover.
Yeah, better cover there for Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a chance right there. That match could have turned around completely if Alan had got that strike, and with Tim with the miss spare. I mean, they'd have been even almost. So this is some good bowling on both sides. Really good. 3 doubles for going already for the Eclipse. So another good count there by Mike.
Oh, there's a bomb.
Yeah.
There's a bomb. Here's Adam Weber's fist bump. Just
Yeah.
Not much there, but just yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that confidence. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, that's Adam Weber confidence. What do you mean? It's strength. Yeah.
Of course it is.
And talk about a guy, I mean, just love to watch throw strikes.
Yeah.
I think he's so steady in his shot. His steps, and then just launches it out there, and they just go boom. And it is so pretty to watch.
So we got 495 to 476 after 4, which is awesome starts for both teams. And I think we got 3 doubles against 5 marks, 4 strikes and a spare. So yeah, this could be a pivotal frame right here. If
Bailey got tapped, he thought he had it too.
Yeah, he did. So there you go, right? And Victor comes back and throws a bomb, and now all of a sudden he's in the driver's seat again. You got to love this game for that.
This is fantastic. Yeah, this is.
You just never know, right?
Yeah. Everybody watching, this is us getting excited. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm sitting in my wife's sewing room, and I'm getting excited.
Yeah. Kerry, let's give the fist pump. Yeah, buddy.
Very nice. Well, that hurt. That missing that spare hurt.
Bailey, too, got to have a lot of confidence. Been playing really well. Played a great Autumn Open himself, making the 16s. No, not the 16s, but made the 40s.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier in the last game. Had an unfortunate finish. But, solid shooter and leading the team here in Vernon, the Okanagan Eclipse.
A little quick there. So this is an example where, like, the Eclipse was going well, and the Dream Crushers they're just going to keep bringing it. They're going to keep bringing it. So even when the Eclipse were playing well, they knew they had to keep playing well in order to stay up with them. And here we go. We get 2 opens to start, and it's going to change the dynamic going into the second half. Here we go. Love it.
Yeah, you're right. Bailey and Trevor both on doubles. You can't let up, right?
No.
So put that one out of mind, out of sight. Come on to the next frame and start again. But yeah, the Dream Crushers aren't probably going to give a whole lot of inches here. They're going to keep coming, keep pounding. They're guys at the top of the game and top of the rankings across the country. So
yeah. Again, so here they had Eclipse 3 doubles going into this frame, and they're going to come out of it with with no more doubles. I mean, as a coach, I'm thinking, okay, we got 3 chances. Let's let's get 2 of them. Carry on 2, and I mean, ends up that they get 1 mark out of the 3. And then on the other side now, you've got them with they've got 3 doubles and 4 strikes and a spare going. So great shot for Alan to come back with that strike.
Yeah, that's what you need, right? Is just, come on, guys, get something started here. Start it up, right? Especially, top 2 may be open. Take a deep breath here, Alan and Mike. Let's set the course. Throw in good shots. Shouldn't be anything different than what we've been doing. Yeah.
Now you're looking at, okay, which matches are close, which ones are where are we at? And so we basically, looks like we've got, 2 close matches, 3 close matches, and 2 are in favor of one or the other.
And we'll just take a quick little break here, folks, after 5, and we'll do pay some bills, do a commercial, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, time for the second half here. Like you said, Greg, super close matches, right?
Yeah, we're looking at 641 total to 653 total, but I'm sure that's not counting all those doubles the way that.
So Sherwood Park, it does not look like they're counting. Yes, they are. So Sherwood Park counts the points, and we know that Okanagan does count points. So
right. Okay. So basically, it's basically the 3 doubles that they've got going is what Victor does, or what each of the persons on their double is going to do with that to see where they're at. So
a solid strike from Bailey to come out of the break. Almost a little pushy seems like from Victor, but he'll correct that. Obviously, want to keep that triple running.
Yeah, keep the marks together. Yeah,
and good solid cover there. Put yourself in a position you can spare. I'm sure his facial expressions, which that he probably hit there.
Yeah.
And
great shot by Trevor. That looked like a pretty thick hit. So he must have had good fingers on that one to get that kind of response.
Thanks to our sponsors, all of them that help support and build the sport. We are appreciative of your support and donation and sponsorship. Rusted, we talked about Rusted Metal, Rusted Petal, obviously the name holder of the division, and then Cargill the name holder of another division. So thanks to those guys for their support and sponsorship. There's the team names and team logos and everybody for the two divisions.
It was a nice opportunity here for Trevor after Kerry blows by on the same side. He won't be happy with that.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to see the image I was going to throw up on that one. So we'll save it for another one there, Kerry.
Oh, Alan.
Good shot for Alan.
Ball.
Yeah. I did have some images of Alan too, because of course he was down at the Autumn Open, but I didn't have those prepared completely in time. It takes a little bit of work on the back end, friends. Yeah. So appreciate all the kind words and the support so far. And we'll keep making this bigger and better overall.
There you go, 3 straight misses by the Dream Crushers after the break. So that's
yeah, and 2 of them miss open so far.
Yeah. You're not going to see that very often. This is where the Eclipse want to, as a coach for the Eclipse, I'm thinking, okay, boys, let's get some marks here, and let's gain some of that, some of the momentum back.
Yeah, those 2 strikes up top, right, are going to be big now going forward. See if you can double them up.
And if Mike can throw the double here.
Oh, he got tapped down the left.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it looks like that Lincoln Lane's in Vernon there. It looks like they've got the smaller bases as well.
Yeah, I'd have to confirm on that, but I do believe that they have the smaller bases.
Yeah, it looks like we got the full acrylics all the way down, and then with the smaller base.
Tim with a headpin, buddy. Yeah, gotcha.
So huge frame for the Eclipse.
It is, yeah. Coming out of that break, I mean, that's you're saying as a coach. Okay, guys, it's go time. Let's start off strong. Any coach's timeout or anything that you break, you want to come out strong.
Absolutely, and to see the Dream Crushers come out the way they did, that's this is exactly what you're hoping for as the coach of the Eclipse. Is like, okay, we're within reach again now. I mean, we know we're going to have to play well, and we just need to just execute here, and with any luck, it's
a quick breathing moment. A quick breathing moment from the Bombers. You've got a steady guy like Adam down at the bottom. Put what's in front of him out and go and see if he can execute, and then we'll move on.
And this is a huge shot for him with the double. So if he can come through, there you go. If he comes through and throws that strike, all of a sudden that just lifts the rest of the team up. They're like, okay, we got our guy going at the bottom. We know he's going to carry us. Now we can just relax and start throwing balls again. As soon as he punches there, all of a sudden now the rest of the team is like, okay, now I'm going to have to do something, right? And you go through that. You'll go through 2 or 3 of those every match.
Yeah, you do. It's a bit of a mental roller coaster, isn't it, in a match?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 10 frames, 45 minutes, an hour to a match.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mental anguish that a player goes through in the course of a game.
Yeah, different. Your personalities change. That type of stuff changes. Things can affect you in a different way. And now, like you say, now this is a really good opportunity for Eclipse to get some pinfall up here.
Not seeing a ton of substitution pull opportunities out there.
No.
That's something that we haven't talked about, is that we do in these games is we have an opportunity for a spare. So there's a bench player for each team that can come in and make one spare. And going into finish game. And sometimes you have a player coming in, we talked about, that can just throw strikes, a little bit of free will, and they'll relax. So you see as the game progresses if there's that opportunity that comes.
Yeah.
Huge bomb there for Kerry. Let's get him a fist pump back up there.
Yeah.
Good job.
And Victor. I mean, same thing. Both of them. It's like, okay, let's back on track. And again, this is exactly what Eclipse needed to kind of jump all over, was that opportunity. Unfortunately, Daly gets that head pin, and some of the momentum they've already lost.
Yeah, just take a deep breath here. Something for Trevor. Regroup. I'm sure that head pin's done, but it's your turn now to go and execute.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Kerry Kreitz for a second here, obviously being, the leader of the 5-pin universe, helped with all the setup of this. But even last weekend at the Autumn Open, what an amazing weekend that Kerry had, just right from the Thursday night. throwing a doubles event with one of the Gilardi boys, then having a great qualifying shift. His 16s he played good, his 40s he played good, and then his 16s went on and had an unreal tournament. Just couldn't quite catch our champion Kerry Snyder.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kerry Kreitz threw bombs all weekend long.
Yeah, he's definitely in as good a form as I've ever seen him right now. He looks confident, and he looks like he's in total control.
Yeah,
he knows his game, and he's just executing it to the.
And one of the guys that is able to adjust and to the lane conditions and make a change more than anybody out there. We'd probably put Kerry at the top, is that he plays different lines and is so steady and is so accurate with it. Some of his baseball background, but a lot of bowling too, right? So accurate on multiple different lines.
Well, he's one of the few players that will throw a backup to the right side and a hook to the left side.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's it.
Not many people do that at all, and yet he's capable of doing that. And I mean, that's not something I ever would have thought of doing in my game.
Yeah,
I just want to execute one.
Well, tough mentally to think about, how do I do that? I'm from the left side to the right pocket, but I'm still going to throw a hook.
Yeah,
it's a tougher one.
Yeah.
And we look at here the Eclipse. Trevor threw that double, Kelsey threw a strike, Al threw another corner spare, right? So solid in the middle. Tough punch here for Mike.
Yeah, that brings, he throws that double there. He's or throws the strike there. He's in control of, he's ahead in the match, and now it's pretty much, dead even again.
Yeah, bounce back, good bounce back strike both from Tim and Adam in 7 there after their head pins in 6.
Yeah. So it looks like, the Dream Crushers are ahead in 3 of the matches, and we got the Eclipse solidly ahead in 1 in the whole 2 slot. But I mean, it's still only 1 ball difference, and same with this. The leadoff is one ball difference. So it's going to be good. 3 frames to go. This is where you want to just relax and just execute.
Yeah, get yourself set up, right? 8, 9, 10. We talk about a 135. We played the What's My Score game and being a big. It's huge. 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Let's go. Right, there's another big double from Victor. Right, a crasher, if you will. Famous for that. Is this,
Yeah, he's got a fairly wide strike zone. Lots of people don't have that wide of a strike zone. There's a thin line right in the very middle of that head pin that is going to be a head pin where he can get the ball to deflect off that quite a bit. That one was dead on. I mean, you can't hit that thing any more center than he did. Nope.
So
quick there.
Yeah, quick change here. Looks like so Kerry is going to be subbed out and Dexter's heading in.
Okay. So that was 8. So he'll get a couple of balls to kind of just loosen up with. And I think that's a good move at this point in the match, because it looked like Trevor was going to be running away with it. And now all of a sudden, if Dexter can come in and throw some strikes, they may even come back and steal this match.
Yeah. Still a bit of a lead, being 35 points, but you're right. That's why you have a bench player, and you can come in and hopefully throw a couple of strikes. And Dexter's one that you'd have absolute confidence in doing that.
This is another match, 20 points difference.
They both punch.
They both punch. I'll keep that 20-point difference right now on that one.
You wonder, Greg, obviously both teams would have a TV or a StreamYard or something set up, so they're watching along. You wonder how closely along that the bowlers are watching and timing it and waiting for the one player to go and then I go or whatnot. From what we've talked to most people is that actually people aren't really watching their player they're playing against. They're, again, just doing their thing and doing their time. At the end of the game or maybe after the frame, they sure might take a look and see where their opponent's at, but not necessarily when you're throwing a ball or there's no lane courtesy, if you will, on there. So you're not waiting for the guy to the right of you to go.
And you're paying attention as the match is going along, because that you're basically one ball away or two balls away or whatever as you're going. So you're paying attention to that, but you're trying not to let it affect you. The only time it really is going to affect you is in that 10th frame when, okay, I need to hit it on the side, or I need to clean up my wood, or that type of thing. Up until then, you're just bearing down. It's only when you get down to that last frame it's kind of like, okay, do I have a chance now?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Back-to-back punches for Mike. Those would have been big. Clean up all your wood.
Yeah.
Keep yourself in the 190. Tim missed there. So this match is still tight. There's no
165,
runaways.
so he's still, Alan's got a 300 there, and Tim will be, if he picks up this 5, he's 304 if he bangs out. So yeah, that's basically, that 2 pins is actually kind of good because, well, it's 135, 300 to 301. So if they both bang out now, he wins by 1. Oh, that's unfortunate for Mike to give those pins.
Yeah,
this is not the guy you want to give an extra chance to.
Yeah, the anchor bowler, the finisher. I mean, that's why Adam's there. He's time after time has proven why he's one of the best in the country. Having an anchor bowler, probably be in the list of 5 players you'd want, right, Greg? Shooting the anchor bowler across the country.
Absolutely.
Adam Weber would be a name in that 5 for sure.
Yeah.
And there's just his steady. Yeah, just did it. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. I had his fist bump one hit.
Yeah. Victor's got a chance here to really separate them for a total here. He can, he throws another strike here. He's definitely going to give some separation for their total, which is exactly what you want in your leadoff bowler. Take the pressure off the guys down below. Like, okay, boys, I've got that. Now you guys can just freewheel yourselves.
And why we talked about Victor as being one of the top 5 best leadoff bowlers in the country.
Yeah.
Kind
of like we saw with Gino in the last match, just marks of consistency, people that hit the middle a lot and have a little bit of excitement to get the team going. Oh, yeah.
And look at that. 3 strikes, setting themselves up in 9th frame. Yeah. Those are big. Right, your 90 count like you talked about.
Now the Eclipse are going to need to string some strikes together here now to.
Trevor needs this. Dexter's got a max 255 sitting there. Big strike there for Trevor. Yeah, you want to stay ahead in that match. That's not a match you want to let go.
That's exactly it. You don't want to give up the ones you're leading in for sure. Yeah. You want to try and steal one if you can, but. So here's an opportunity with Tim missing, an opportunity now for Alan to put a stranglehold on that one. Nice ball by Kelsey there.
Yeah, great work, Kelsey.
Yeah. So 215, 173. So she's got what's that, 42 pin lead. So that one's pretty much over.
Good cover by Tim on the spare.
Yeah.
Oh, good strike there for Alan on his double too. So we talked about there the strike at 8. That's a big one for him. He was a few points down from Tim's there, but the double in 8-9 is really big for Alan.
Well, yeah, Alan's got a chance to take that match now with a good finish in 10. He's leading going into 10, so it basically just needs to match.
Adam almost got the full push, and Mike comes with the strike. So there you go, guys. This is an exciting finish. We are within, again, 15, 20 points coming home into the 10th frame. Yeah. Nobody, aside from Victor's match, that's the one that's pretty much over. But other than that, these matches are close. We're going to be. Yeah.
And look at that, 4 strikes to finish for the Eclipse. So it's just exactly what you want to do coming into 10. You got 1 double working and 4 strikes. So, there's 360 points right there. 90 a frame for the last 2 frames for those 4 bowlers. But also, Dream Crushers got, they've got 1 double and what is that, 4 other marks. So
yeah, they're loaded up too.
Yeah.
Got 1082 on Eclipse and 1118 for the Dream Crushers.
Yeah. And there's Victor right off.
And there's Victor with his big push. Bailey gets a bit of a push. Obviously, Bailey really wants to get those first ones going. A little pushy.
You know, he gets the spare.
Yeah.
You know, give the rest of the team, you know, some momentum going in. So Victor's got a chance now to set the new high for this event. I think what was it, 356 by Matt Schwartz?
Yeah, you're correct.
So.
Anyway, is that a jinx with it? Yeah, there's the one for you, bud. There it is. We all put our foot in our mouth last week, so.
That commentator's jinx.
Yeah.
Oh man, couldn't have said it at a worse time.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice game, Victor. 348.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, not his first time he's been here.
No.
Oh, big strike by Trevor.
What a great pickup, too, for Victor. I don't think he was the original group member, but when we expanded it to 7 players, he was the one that the Dream Crushers picked in a hurry to pick up there.
Yeah, Trevor threw that strike to win. He's got that match. Yeah.
So good on Trevor. I mean, he was the bench player in the last game against the Kingpins, the Heartland Kingpins. Came in, threw really well, a bunch of strikes. Great move by Bailey to put him in the lineup, and now he's come in and he's won a match.
Yeah.
Right?
And Trevor's one of these guys I don't know, you know, because I haven't been going to a bunch of these events. But I mean, again, pretty solid. Look at his hit strike percentage is amazing. So when he is throwing the ball, he must have a lot of stuff on it because he carries a lot of strikes.
It's a tough finish there for Dexter on the head pin. Cleaned up the side though, but you know, I'm sure this image says it everything for him on the punch.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie threw a big bomb, but got tapped on the corner. So Kelsey in control here, seeing if she can gain some points too for her team. Looks like a little bit off balance.
Yeah. Kelsey's got a lot of movement there. She's moving around when she throws the ball, even when it's in the right in where she wants it. She's got a lot of action. I love watching that.
So these 2 players in 2-3 hole for the Eclipse have basically covered the 100 pin deficit that Victor won with against Bailey. So it's exactly what you want. You might have one player running and throwing big, but you need your second and thirds to cover those spots. So it's going to come down to a tight finish again here, friends.
Yeah.
So 265 for Kelsey, gets her 50 pins, and we talked about 55 for Carrie. So we're pretty much even between those two.
Yeah, this is huge. Alan here on the double. He's got a chance also to get this match as well. He's in control. It's just a matter of if he can execute. Get it? Oh,
yeah, he thought he might have had it. Tim was pretty jacked up on that one. That was a really big shot for Tim.
Yeah.
He came off with a lot of energy. Great shot.
So 238, 268 max for Alan. Nope, it looks like just by missing that corner pin, he's 251. So a win for
Tim there.
251. Yeah.
And these bonus points here can really almost put the team total away, can't it?
Yeah.
Big shot for Tim. Good job. Good push. Good fingers.
So that's what Tim does. He's forcing Alan to throw a double in 10 to have a chance at winning that match. And not everybody can do it, you know?
That's a big double for Mike. First one, too, gets up and throws the first one.
Yeah.
You might even have a guy, Adam, if he's looking at the scores or looking at the stream, he could see that maybe he got his. So now he knows what he needs. And as many points extra here, Mike, to put the team total within potential.
Yeah. 1274, 1248.
But he's still got a double there sitting. And that's a big strike for Tim. Nice finish for Tim for 286, gaining another 35 pins on Alan.
You got a potential tie over here, too, with Mike banging out. He can bang out for 279, And if Adam goes strike spare, he's 279.
You're right. Yeah, 30-30. And Mike, looks like team total max is going to be at 1293, whereas I think the Dream Crushers are already at the 1290 mark.
1289. Yeah. But here we go. I mean, this forces Adam to. He's going to have to throw this strike.
His match is still important, obviously, to any point.
Every point right now.
Oh, and he got tapped on the corner.
Oh, Mike throws a strike to shut him out.
So team total is going to be over for the Dream Crushers, but individual match here.
Get it.
Oh, and he got it. Good job, Mike. Hey, good job for the Eclipse.
Wow. Well done. $12.93. Nice bowling.
Yeah. Nice double for Mike Elder for his day's work.
Absolutely.
Shooting 580, 570. Solid day's work there for Mike.
Yeah. Alan Byrne 240, 250.
Couple of wins.
Kelsey 265, 277.
Yeah.
With
two wins. With two wins, right? So 2 wins for Kelsey, 2 wins for Mike.
Yeah.
And there's Adam with a 267 for a 1322 win.
Okay. So.
Good work. Okay, so there we've got a 5-3 scenario where the Victor Fober we talked about, is 348, probably ends up being the difference, to be honest with you. So 5-3 for the Dream Crushers over the Okanagan Eclipse. We're going to bring in our managers, chat about the game. Bailey, we're going to mention too. Bailey, I'm going to actually want to talk to Kelsey and to Mike Elder. You guys don't play your third game, so I wouldn't mind chatting with them after as well. So we'll let Bailey and Danny get their things together. Danny's probably talking about a lineup for the next game against the Kingpins. So maybe Bailey, just before, we'll talk to Kelsey and Mike first, if you don't mind, as Danny's getting himself loaded up. Let's just hope, no, not that. Let's go like that. Let's go like this. Remove that. Let's go like this. See if we can figure this out here. There we go, team. Kelsey, Mike, obviously on the losing end. Danny, I'm just going to put you aside for a sec. Kelsey, Mike, great day for you guys personally, not what the team resulted on, but Kelsey, can you chat with a little bit about yourself? Obviously, 277, 264, a couple of wins there, being the only female on the team. How'd it feel out there for yourself today?
I was nervous the whole time. Like really nervous, shaking, but I think that helps me focus a lot more when I'm nervous if it's for something.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of pressure on being the only female out there, but also must feel comforting too, knowing that the guys trust in you to play every frame, every match that you got to be out there. So really it's just settling down on the lanes and going and throwing and executing when you can. And today, obviously, you did get a couple of wins for the team, so those are big shots. Good job to you. Mike, how about yourself? Obviously being the anchor bowler, a little bit more pressure sometimes making that shot. How'd you feel out there? Get a couple of wins, a 293 and a 279. It's a great day's work for yourself.
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. I don't think I missed the middle on the 2 games, so that was good. A couple of untimely hits, but I felt like I was throwing well, and it was good. It's a good house here.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Now it's go ahead, Greg.
I was just going to say you looked confident in your delivery and confident in your execution.
Yeah, when I'm getting the ball out, it feels better that way, and I just really focused. A couple of dropping it in the first 2 frames, but I got lucky, carried on. But towards the end, I was making sure I got it out, and I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good work. Like I said, it's a couple of points on the board. It's not the team points. Your feet are wet. The season is going. The 5-pin Pro League is off the way. Now we can sit back, I think, for a couple of weeks and watch the other teams play. But all in all, good day's efforts for you guys on your team. Well done.
Kelsey, I just want to ask you about the bocce bowling. Have you thrown the ball bocce style your whole life?
No, I actually used to bowl left-handed, And then I switched probably like 4 different times in the last 4 years, going between sliding on my left, my right, throwing left-handed or right-handed. And so this just feels the most comfortable because I'm definitely dominant left leg. So to slide on my left leg, it just doesn't work. So
Okay. And when you threw left-handed, you threw standard?
Yeah.
Just left-handed with that slide? And then when you switched to the right-handed, it just didn't feel comfortable sliding on that on your left leg?
Yeah, exactly. I still had to keep 1, 2, 3 every time I threw the ball.
So can you change it from frame to frame? Is that one of your technical adjustments? Is that, like the guys that make so many adjustments? Like, I'm not going to throw right-handed anymore. I'm going to throw left-handed. I'm going to switch it out. Yeah.
Boy,
I did 2 different leagues, like 1 left and 1 right a couple years ago. So.
Oh, wow. Well, Greg, you would know that. Greg, don't you play left-handed in the league? So you got
I do. I actually played I played 2 leagues right-handed and 1 league left-handed. And I mean, it's pretty cool. Good for you. That's interesting about the bocce style. That you feel more comfortable throwing left-handed with that slide. Yeah. Nice.
Well, good job. Good solid day again for Okanagan Eclipse. Thanks for playing, and we'll get the other guys on now to play the third match. So take care. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.
Very entertaining.
All right, we'll move them out of the way, Greg. And as we get ready to set up our third match, we'll bring in Danny. We'll ask him quickly about this one, and then we'll... Danny, you're in the stream. So how'd that game go for you? One thing we noticed, obviously, huge start. We talked about the strength and the quality of play from these guys. But as you got into the fifth, coming out of the break, was a little bit of a slower start, but then started going again. Tell us what that game went for you guys.
Yeah, everything was going good until we took that 3-minute or 5-minute break, and it just seemed to kill all the energy on the bench. So something that we're going to have to learn to live with, I guess. But after they got through the 6th frame, the 7th seemed to get better again. And then, we had that one, the other team struck out in the 10th, and that took a point away from us. But other than that, I was pretty happy with everybody. Now,
obviously, you made the pull with Carey later in the match. You probably thought about it at one point earlier, but then it just came time. They just... The punch was just, okay, let's get a fresh look in there and get Dexter to throw some balls. Is that more the thinking there?
Yeah, Carey seemed to be throwing the ball well. He just missed by a little bit, a couple of frames, and then that one punch just wanted to get Dex in to get some practice for the next game. So
and
he's going to be playing the next game, and Victor is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about just again, being a veteran and playing a lot of times up there at the leadoff. I mean, one of the best leadoff players in the country, and just was obviously going and throwing bombs, makes the other guys relax a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does exactly what you want a leadoff bowler to do. He hits the middle a lot. He's very exuberant, and when he's executing, he just brings the confidence to the rest of the team that, okay, we got this guy covered, and you guys can just throw your own balls, right?
Yeah, it's a very different format because you're only bowling on one lane. You can't really see anybody you're bowling against, so it's pretty hard to feed off of what the other team's doing. So we're trying to feed off of each other. So it's real important that they show some exuberance when they're coming off the lanes for sure, so that they can get the next person pumped up.
Yeah.
Now we're going to run our commercial here, wrap up that match, and then we'll get started on setting up match number 3, guys.
Okay, perfect.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to match number 3 here on week number 2. I'm your host, Daryl Bradley, joined along with commentator Greg Giglia. Greg, been a great couple of matches so far. We're looking forward to a third firepower match, I'm sure, coming up.
There's some great bowling. I mean, these guys and girls they've come out to play. I mean, this is not a get your feet wet type thing. Right now, they're coming out and they're playing strong.
Yeah, it's great. It's looking for another big match. Obviously, we've had winners so far. We've had the Heartland Kingpins won their first match versus the Okanagan Eclipse. Then we had the BPU, or the BP, I just want to throw in a plug to the BPG. The 5PU Dream Crushers, they won the match then against the Okanagan Eclipse. So sort of in a way, it's the title of the day, if you will, with the Dream Crushers against the Kingpins coming up. So a couple of big matches.
Everyone wants to go undefeated, so you can't go undefeated unless you win your next match.
Right. So let's bring in our managers for that match. So we'll bring in Robert Gallagher of the Heartland Kingpins and Danny Clapp of the Dream Crushers. Guys, here we are. You've had one game in. Robert, start with you. The guys have been off for an hour. They're good and ready to go. Everything's set for this last match.
Yep. Yeah, they're ready to go again. Warming up right now. Just finishing the warm up. Relaxed. We the last match, so ready to go.
Now we've seen the lineup set for the Dream Crushers with a little adjustment. How about yourself? Any adjustment to your original lineup from the last game?
We're going back to our original. AJ is back in to start, and the Dream Crushers they it doesn't really matter where we put anybody. They're pretty solid there. So we're just going to battle with our same lineup. It worked pretty good the first match. So we're going to try it again and see what happens.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck. And how about you, Danny? Any quick adjustments to your last match? You made a pull there later in the game with Carey Kreitz coming out and Dexter going in. Is that something that we're changing up for this last match?
Yeah, Dexter's going to be in second, and Carey's going to be on the bench, and hopefully everything works out well. If not, I'm sure Carey will be ready to come in when he's needed.
Good stuff. Well, I think we're looking for some fireworks in this one, guys. We'll let you get at it. Now it's time to go. Have fun. Last match of the day. Good luck.
Very well, guys.
All right. Good luck.
Tell Jim to keep his hat on. We don't want the glare.
Okay, yeah. There's a little chirp. Yeah, little chirps. Yeah, chirps are welcome. Yeah, have fun, guys.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, let's look at the rosters here quickly of these matches. So we've got match 3. We've got Carey Kreitz, Dexter Wiseman, Tim Wiseman, Katie Rayner, Adam Weber, Victor Folbert, Caitlin Ayoub, who's not available today, and Danny Clapp. That's representing the the 5PU Dream Crushers, and then representing Heartland Kingpins, AJ Bosman, Shauna Puree, Sean Schwartz had a big game last one. Jean Zebar, Jen Baker not available. Eric Jost and Jackie Anderson, managed by Robert Gallagher. All right, let's get the stream into there. We'll throw them on solo layout and having a big match here, guys.
So these two teams know each other quite well. They've played against each other quite a bit in the Open. You know, Edmonton against Central, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, no strangers to each other here on this one. You know, Gene's played in a lot of big matches, so you know that he wants to start off right. Gene and Victor have obviously played out of the Central region together a lot of times too, so well-known competitors. Victor's dad, Lawrence, plays longtime competitor alongside you, Greg. So this game means something for sure. I mean, it's the 5-pin Pro League, but it means something. This is solid.
Absolutely. I mean, these are competitors. These are guys that don't want to lose ever, no matter what they're doing, right? They could be going out with their team from work, and they're going to want to just show people what they can do. That's a rare miss for Gino. He doesn't miss many corner pins, so
doesn't miss many corners, and that's you know one of the points of the game that really makes the difference from a lot of these guys is picking corners. If you can be, 90% plus on your corner pins, your likelihood to have a pretty solid game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think most of these guys are shooting for is that 90%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's speaking personally, part of my game that's probably not as sharp as it needs to be. That we'll need to work on in order to be at the level of these guys, sort of a B level, if you will. But that's something that gets to A, and A plus is by making all of your spares and just having the confidence to make it just as much as you can on a strike.
I mean, I don't mind getting corner pins as long as I don't miss them. It's when I miss them that it really frustrates me. So,
yeah, and that's plays with the mental side of the game, doesn't it?
It does.
Right? When you know, man, right?
Yeah. Well, and you basically thrown a good shot to get a corner. And then when you miss it, it's like, well, you just wasted a really good shot. Yeah.
Now, as you're a right-handed bowler, mostly. But right corner versus left corner preference?
Well, left corner going across the lane is just more naturally, to me, visually, that it's going to be easier to hit. And then going into my right corner pin, basically just close to the rack and, those types of things that affect what you're looking at and that type of thing. So and again, opposite on my with my left hand, it's the same thing, just the exact opposite. So
now, ask you this: you just asked the question with Kelsey as a bocce bowler, sliding with her right foot and throwing right arm. You can play both arms, right hand, left hand. When you bowl with your left hand, are you bowling bocce style, or are you?
Nope. I'm going off the other leg. So she could play a Scotch doubles where she wouldn't have to right hand, left hand, and wouldn't have to change her shoes. I'd have to change my shoes every game, every frame.
You do? Okay. Yeah, well, so you've got the slide down as well, going right, left, right. I guess sliding with your right foot then, aren't you?
Yeah. It's unique, but it's, I'm way slower, obviously, when I'm going left-handed. My ball speed is probably 10, 15 kilometers less, and my accuracy is quite a bit less.
Nice, great start there by Sean Schwartz. We saw him have a 300 in his previous match. Guy we talked about in his previous match who's worked so hard at his game to be a steady contributing player. And I definitely think that he's reached that level that he can be on these teams, and he deserves to be on the team and deserves to be in an important position in the 4th spot too.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is a good opportunity for him to get get into these matches, and just as if you are playing in it. So it's not a big surprise going into an Open or a Masters or something.
And Eric Chose then next comes up and throws a strike. Great spot for him to be an anchor bowler. Eric's another one that's worked really hard his game in the last handful of years. He's thrown at some big shots, has been on some really great teams, looking to make Masters and Open teams. A guy that definitely comfortable having him down there shooting some big pressure shots. So good job for Eric starting off this match with the strike.
I know when I have coached him in the past, I've had him in leadoff again for the same reasons. Yeah. He's exuberant and he hits the middle a lot and he gets the team fired up.
He's got energy, that's for sure. Yeah. When you're playing in a tournament and in a qualifying or any tournament, when Eric's there and he's playing well because he's got a unique cheer sound to himself that lets it go.
Yeah.
And there's Dexter back on with a strike. probably not too happy with himself for the miss on in the first one.
No.
But really just his first ball, first game. Wouldn't really say Dexter has any nerves at all to him, just more of a simple execution miss, I would think.
Yeah. Katie starting with unfortunate 2 head pins. If you're going to get them, first 2 frames are a good place to get them. I'm sure Shauna was looking for a better count on her spare with that miss. You're especially on your spares, you want to get that better count, that bigger count if you can.
Yeah, so we talk about spares and substitutions. Oh, and there's Shauna with a hop over. The Heartland Kingpins do have a spare available, and Jackie Anderson to come in if she needs. Whereas the Dream Crushers have Carey Kreitz available to come in if he is, but noted that the female has to start the game and finish the game. So Katie Rayner being the only female available for the Dream Crushers, she has to play the entire game regardless of how she's playing.
Right. Yeah. Another good push by Tim.
Nice big shot by Tim to get that one there. Oh, that's a great shot by AJ. Got subbed out in his last match. We knew later in the week that he had a bit of an injury that he was dealing with. It's good to see him being able to get through that and come and throw some big shots. Hopefully he can keep it going for the game.
Yeah, he had got into a little bit of head pin trouble that first match at the 3/4 halfway through the game, and so the coach, rightfully so, made the pull to try and maybe get that match because it was within reach. So the right thing to do at the right time.
Solid shot there by Sean. Looked little bit ball speed, maybe a little kilometer, a little too less, but still nonetheless good shot, good result. Look to have him cover the corner here.
Yeah. I think this is a big shot for Sean. I mean, early in the match, you got a corner pin. Now, if you can just get that spare, it gives you a little bit more confidence. So sorry, unfortunately, he wasn't able to convert it. But I think that's on these newer players as they get used to this. Those are the ones that put the pressure on you. It's that spare, the ones you should make, right?
You look at Adam Weber there. You chop off right corner, and he goes and makes both spares. I mean, that is huge. I mean, to not miss those early in a game, you're still shooting your 25 counts, your 28 counts, your 27s if you're getting a kickback. I mean, and then you throw a couple of doubles and you're on your way. But once you have that self-doubt or that something creep in that you maybe missed a spare, it starts to wear on you a bit. So,
and again, you can be as confident as you want. As soon as you miss one, the next time you're going to be thinking about it more.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be thinking about it. You want to just stay confident and in your shot that you're going to be able to, you have no doubts that you're going to get it. Eric's another one. He's a great spare shooter too.
Yeah, that makes a difference. So people, if you're practicing, practice your spares. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, only go spares. A great drill, a lot of great coaches out there would say is go, corner, hit. Corner, hit. Corner. A lot of these machines and the software doesn't allow just the corner pin to keep getting reset after time. So you still have a full deck if you hit the corner. You go corner, hit, and just do that over and over and over. You have to be just as good at your corner spares or your chop spares as you are anything else. So you got to practice. Yes, we're talking about practice.
And by practicing, it builds confidence.
100%.
I've done this. I've hit 7 of these in a row, or I've hit 8 of these in a row, or whatever. I can do this. So you just have to, and it's the practice that gets you believing it. You can. So a good break for Gino there with Victor punching on the double. So a chance for him to he's right back in this match. If anything, he might be a ball ahead now.
And one of those thick ones for Victor was just a bit too thick, getting the head pin split. We've seen a couple of crashers before that he's been able to get the full break, but not this time. Yeah.
Well, and that's just it. His head pin, his strike zone is so large that unless it's right on, he's gonna break it up enough to get a chopper, a corner pin out of it. So And same thing with Dexter. Unfortunately, he's just a little off here, where he's one miss, one strike, one head pin, not quite feeling like he's right. Timing's just right, and the execution's not quite right.
AJ, a 3-pin there, but an opportunity here still to spare it would be big on that strike.
Absolutely.
And he got it. Yeah, so there's the commentator call there.
Yeah.
But AJ. And great comeback for Katie. Again, we talked about the 2 head pins and the start and, not getting pulled after 2 head pins, but you know what I mean? And to come out and throw a strike, okay, deep breath time.
Yeah.
Sean
well,
wants
even on those 2 head pins, it looked like she threw the ball. It wasn't like she steered it. She threw the ball. It just happened to be one of those ones. It was just exactly just what Sean did. Just happened to be right on the head pin. And I mean, unfortunately, it's part of our game, and it's a big part of the game.
Ooh, Tim with a miss there.
Yeah.
Would have been a commanding triple.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with Sean punching at the same time. But, spare a bowl again. I mean, again, keep the marks together. 30 count here. Gives them. We'll give them a pretty good lead going into it. So, there's a. Okay.
Yeah. Got to be one of the harder spares. I know it sounds really crazy, but the miss spare is hard, right? Because you think that you should be an automatic, strike or whatever it is, but it's tough, right? It's tough.
Well, and it's interesting because if you miss on the side that you normally pocket hit, now you're thinking, should I throw this second shot into the wood and try and spare it on the other side? So, it's in your mind that, should I play a different line for this spare than my normal strike shot?
And what's the answer?
Well, and that's just it. Everyone's different. Everyone's whatever their comfort is. I mean, you want to have that, but do you want to try and do something more than you would normally do? The worst thing to do is blow it by, and that's what you're trying not to do. So again, everyone's different. I mean, you'll find a lot of people where they'll say, yeah, I'm going to throw it inside the wood, but
it's a hard thing to do, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Make sure you go exactly I'm just trying to throw a good shot, man.
That's right. And that's what you should be doing, right? Executing. I mean, especially when, again, you miss on the side that is normally your pocket side that you'd like to hit. I mean, we'll take hits on both sides. We're not that picky. Yeah. We'll take them no matter what. But when you do, it's just enough, gives you that little bit of lack of confidence that, okay, I normally play this side, but what if?
So Gino's here, the only one with a strike cooking on his team, wants to kind of keep a run going. The Dream Crushers don't really have a lot brewing in 3, so it's kind of open there for somebody to start putting something together.
Yeah, I mean, they only had 1 mark that whole frame, which is
much better shot there for Victor on the side. It wasn't nearly as beaky as some of the other ones were.
Yeah. You like to see this guy, when they're playing well, hitting the same pocket every time, but it's just inevitable that they're going to go across. Sooner or later, they're going to throw one across. And if it goes all the way across and they get that strike on the other side, that's good. But, sometimes it's come across just enough to where you get the head pin. So
we'd like to say we try to be as robotic as possible, but at the end of the day, we're not robots, and we can't throw the exact same shot 12 times in a row, right?
That's it.
Some guys can, and some guys have run a whole bunch of strikes. We even think about Thursday Night League here at Sherwood Park. There were some monster scores, and it really, guys just had a rhythm and a routine and who've gotten into throwing absolute bombs. Dexter had a 403, which turned into a 388 because, of course, he had a foul in there in the 8th frame. I think he stuck and stepped over it. But they were bombs. They were just perfect shots. Matt Schultz had a 1070 triple. And again, just bombs. So as robotic as you can get, but you can't do that. It's not necessarily sustainable, right? Yeah. So you're right. The right pocket, the left pocket, we're not overly picky at the end of the day as long as it looks the same on the scoreboard.
Yeah. I think back in the in the early days of the games in the early 70s and that, when everything was free fall and that. There were people that basically pocket shot. They hit the same pocket all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, but with the wood lanes and everything, I think it was just basically, and
the groove, the groove of the lane. It was a little bit more, following the line, or
yeah. So, no, it is what it is, and I mean now you see the more of the freewheelers, the Adams and the Carries and the Wisemans. They're that freewheeling shot, right? So they're letting the ball go. They're just straight back, straight through with finish, and that's what they're relying on. That's their focus, and if they hit the same pocket every time, that's fantastic, but they'll take either side. I think Tim's philosophy is just throw at the head pin.
Yeah, I'm a bit more of that too. I've started to think about, pockets, but really I just want to have really good fingers and really good finish on the ball. I'm not too picky. I sort of have an aiming spot that I aim at.
Yeah.
I know which side ends up probably better percentages.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say that 100% of my shots are always being aimed at the same pocket.
Right.
But definitely some guys are. Carey, I think, is very technical on that side. Dexter's not. Dexter's more finish and feel, right? But Carey is definitely a pocket shotter, pocket shooter, right? He's a bit more aim.
Yeah.
And everybody's,
I think
like
Gino
you said,
is as well.
Yeah, a little bit different. Everybody's a bit different.
Yeah. I mean, in the days when, Ken Norris was playing, I mean, he literally threw it down the same spot every time, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he was probably 90% of the times it was, throwing that back up, it was coming into the left side of the pocket.
Yeah.
So,
what about a guy like Bruce Mortar? You've seen him lots, and he's played a ton of huge matches. What about him? Was he freewheeler or more pocket shot?
Well, and that's just it. He was, with his timing and his rotation on the ball, he was basically shooting to a pocket, but he could get the ball to rotate so much that if it was going across, he was still getting good results.
Right, and that's the spin rate on it. You saw a guy like him. You get it out there enough that the spin rate on it would have so much action on it, and little side sweeping and coming underneath of it. They just have such action on the pins.
And that's why when in the old days, when the lanes were really dry, the Ken Norrises would struggle so much because the ball would snap so much. He'd have to play it so far out to the left to be able to control it.
So I noticed there, obviously, Eric, great strike for him. Gino was ready and wanted to get up on the lane quick and take control there. They must have known that the Dream Crushers were done, so that as soon as Eric was finished, Gino could get up there and go and keep the momentum going for his team. So good leadership by Gino as being a leader bowler there.
And that's the other thing, when you're playing in these matches and you're playing head-to-head on the same pair of lanes, that's a big part of it. There's lots of times where there's games played for do anything to get up first. You basically want to get ahead of them and get up there and, show them what you've got to get the lead. I mean, that was one thing that when Tom Alford coached, that's what he insisted. If you were the leadoff bowler, I want you throwing the ball first because I want them to be looking at our marks.
Yeah, and whether you take lane control just by even having your foot on there, grab the ball, get your foot on there, stand at the back of the lane. If you're not ready to go yet, that's fine, but just get on the approach.
That's exactly it.
A young kid that does one of that the best right now that I see up and coming, going to be a fantastic leadoff is Parker Anderson. Right. He loves to get on the lane and go. There's not messing around. It's his turn. He's going. Yeah. And last week we saw him get up and be the leadoff bowler for the Toppler Roses with some success, and obviously set the stage. Yeah. And throws just dynamite shots and bombs. So you're right. Leadoff is so big to get up there and to set the stage for the team.
Absolutely.
Don't rush it.
Nope.
But
rush to get on the lane, but don't rush the shot. That's exactly it.
Sometimes you see that too, right? So of course you get a lot of teams that know that, right? Victor's not necessarily a rusher, but he's the guy that's throwing strikes, so he's a great leadoff for you. He's almost a good mix. But you see in some tournaments or opens or wherever, and you have two leadoff players who want to play leadoff. They're fighting for it. Crossing lanes, and then you get the second and third player throwing pick plays, and you got to block them. And what are you doing, right? Like it gets to be fun.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, you go. You finally let the guy go first.
Yeah.
And then he rushes, and you think, there, gotcha.
Yeah. Or that sportsmanship too. Oh no, you go ahead. Well, what the heck? You've been going first for the 7 times, and then all of a sudden you want me to go? Why does this guy want me to go?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The old adage of where you know, in match play in golf, where you give the guy all the short putts, and then at the end you make him putt them all.
Yeah. So we're coming into the end of almost the 5th frame here, and again we're in a situation that matches are tight. There's no runaways. There's no 5-bagger from the guns. There's 40, 50 pins separating the two teams. So
74, 20, 50 pins. So that's a huge double right there.
That's a huge double for Eric down there.
Yeah, he's matching Victor's, and of course Adam wants to do the same thing. There you go. So here, right now we're looking, it's with 5 marks with the double to 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 marks here too. So it's very close. Again, going to be a good break, and then at the see who comes out firing in the second half.
All right, so Adam gets the spare. 1-8 in the 5th. Matches are tight. We'll take a quick little break here, and we'll be back in 2.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you. And there we go, back into the action here for the second half of match number 3 on week 2. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Your hosts here, Daryl Bradley, alongside Greg Giglia, commentating today. Great couple matches so far. We'll see if now Dream Crushers can maybe come out of this break a little bit stronger than they did in the previous match. They sort of came a bit flatter. So Victor here with leadoff will look to...
So basically, it's about 80 points difference. It looks like the Dream Crushers got about an 80-point lead, even in marks. But 80 points isn't much.
Oh, and there's
exactly what Victor didn't want.
Yeah. Commentator jinx, Victor. Sorry, bud. But thank you to our sponsors. Rusted Petal, Cargill, JBrains, Bradson Promotional Group for all your support. A lot of great sponsors out there in the bowling world that have supported for many years and helped building and getting us to this point of having a 5-pin professional bowling league across country. We've got 12 teams across the country representing their home bowling centers and various companies and players. A lot of great players. Oh, a tapped push over on that corner. That seems to be a little bit of a hop over. Sometimes the speed of the ball, we've noticed that some places really has that hop, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looked like that one. I mean, I think Gino, likes to throw a lot of strikes, and when he's throwing the ball well, he kind of, when you've thrown the ball well. So that one really looked like it surprised him, but that was not his normal spare shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, so he's missed a couple of spares.
And that's just it. He's a lifetime 95% corner pin shooter. So to see him miss 2 in one game, that's pretty unusual. And very untimely because of the open by Victor too. So he had a good chance.
He's only down 15 points in his match, so that match is close. But you're right. If you spare that, and you're even. Yeah,
exactly.
So Shauna's going to want to dig in here, throw a strike. She had a bit of a struggle in the first half.
Yeah.
But obviously a veteran player. Shauna's been, had a great last 5 years playing almost every Masters, plays a lot of tour events, plays all the Opens. She's one of the top ladies playing in the province for sure.
Yeah. I play with her on Monday nights. I drafted her on my team.
Oh, perfect.
Boy, that was a steal. I wasn't expecting her to be still available when the draft came up, but I'm sure glad I did because she's playing very well for us.
That's good.
Yeah. She'll end up being a captain our next third, just the way our league runs. So it's a good thing I got her when I did.
And that's the thing, there's a lot of good bowlers in Central, right? And you guys have made a number of national teams in the open format here.
Yeah.
That have had a lot of success. So these guys that are playing here aren't strangers to the open format and success.
And see, this is the first time I've seen AJ play, and I'm pretty impressed with his the way he throws the ball. And I mean, he's consistently on the head pin, and he's getting his spares, and that's good to see. Like I said, I don't know the man at all, so I love this format for being able to see bowlers that you wouldn't otherwise get a chance to see. Nice for Sean. Good double there.
Yeah, great double.
Yeah.
Especially against Tim, was able to get the strike there in 6. So Dexter and Tim both got strikes in 6. Adam covers his missed spare. Tightens things up. Now, if Eric throws a strike here, we're pretty much even in overall matches, and you got 2 doubles for the Kingpins.
Well, and you can tell Eric knows this is a key shot here, because just with the amount of time he's taking and his added focus to, okay, this is my opportunity to help the team out a lot. And he liked it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he's fired up.
Yeah, that's it. I love watching these guys throw great balls in key shots.
Yeah, I see there's Gino again. Up and at him, right? Up and at him. Keep the momentum going.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to work off of Eric's strike, right? He's pumped up himself. So, and he knows he's in this match, and he needs to start executing. He loved it.
Yeah, I got that one. He knew. So good to see, guys.
Yeah.
But you're right. We talked about AJ not seeing him. We had some players in the last match, Trevor Wachkolski, Kelsey Cooch that had, great couple of games. We get an opportunity to see players across the country who wouldn't normally be traveling to some of the WCBT events or cash tournaments, or even playing or making it to an open or a Masters National, because you only see the people that make it to nationals.
Yeah.
So they might be one of the best players in their center or in their zone, but just didn't happen to win provincials. So we don't see them out there.
Yeah, and they're up and coming, right? They're learning the game, and they're trying to hone in their skills to be able to get to those nationals and the provincials and that. So it's a good opportunity to see some really good players that you otherwise wouldn't get a chance to see.
the vision for this league has to be future expansion and being able to have as many players that can represent their centers and their teams across the country, right? This is the elite, the highest level of 5-pin bowling there is across the country from a perspective.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's that easy to do, where these guys, they're going to be playing however many weeks they're going to play. So they're dedicating a few Sunday mornings to have an opportunity to play against these guys. I mean, AJ, another great shot for him. Good count on his spare.
Obviously the big thing that's going to be needed is just membership and viewers and subscribers. We're taking the avenue of going YouTube, right? Streaming it through YouTube. So what you need is like the pages, comment on the pages, subscribers, right? Share, right? So if you're not already subscribing to the 5-Pin Universe channel, please do. Right? And that's at the end of the day, the more viewers, there's revenue opportunities, there's sponsorship opportunities. We can give back, we can build the productions. There's so much more we can do. So thanks for watching. Do your part. Share away, listen away. Looks like Adam got a bonus one there. I probably got a picture in there. This is probably just Adam's. Yeah. Good job.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, another key shot here for Eric. Again, see him taking a little bit more time, reset the pins. He's a great bowler to be in this spot. I mean, look at you can just see the finish on that shot.
I mean, he was pointing his finger before the ball hit the guard, the lane guard.
Yeah. Because he knew the delivery was there, and it was exactly where he wanted to throw it. It hit that right pocket, just like the last one did. And with that good finish, I'm
really liking the team atmosphere of this, but for both teams. The Kingpins are in there playing together. They got belief. They know they can do it. They just keep executing one shot at a time, right? Play together as a team. And obviously the Dream Crushers, they've all known each other. They've played together a number of times, but it still comes down to execution and getting it going. Victor might be a little bit newer to the guys, but he's played in a lot of cash tournaments or bakers or doubles or any of these things. So
absolutely,
he's such a good team player. All these guys are.
And from the Kingpin's point of view, who doesn't want to knock off the best team on paper, right?
Oh, Gino got the hop over. Yeah. So Dexter sure found his shot here in the last few. Obviously, that miss in 5 isn't what he wanted, but has come out with just 3 absolute pretty shot peaches for 6, 7, 8.
Now, Katie's going to want to feed off this, with the double just ahead of her, and she's on a strike.
Oh, great shot.
Yeah.
And speaking of Dexter, one of the top bowlers in the country right now, as we've mentioned, some kudos to some of these guys. I mean, Dexter's right up there, has won a number of things. One of the faster bowler, but man, can he throw balls. He is dynamite.
Well, he's I was just doing a little, so he finished 16th in the Open.
Yeah.
He's leading in the Masters, so he finished 6th in the first tournament and 3rd in the second, so he's leading overall. And he's the number 1 ranked player in the 5-Pin Universe. So,
very unique in that he doesn't take any time on the approach. He's worked so hard at his game. Yeah. Another hop over there for Sean, unfortunately. He works so hard at his game that he can deal with everything else that he needs to outside of it. But once he gets on the lane, he just doesn't waste any time. Just go. What are we waiting for, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. And everybody's a little bit different. And Dexter's been the one that's been able to master that to the point of honestly throwing other people off playing against him.
Yes.
Right? Because he's so fast and doesn't over emotionalize things. He's just
there was a guy way back when, this Aldo Serblin was his name, bowled in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s type thing, and bowled out of Calgary. And he basically, it was one motion. He picked up the ball as he was walking up onto the lane.
Oh, wow.
And it was one motion to throw the ball. And he was one of the Western Canadian best players.
Yeah. Wow.
So
big double for him, Adam. Tim obviously there with the triple. Tim probably doesn't get as much credit as he probably should, but got to be one of the absolute best team players, as Tim Wiseman has had a ton of success in playing on some of these teams. It always seems like when Tim's on a team, they're going to nationals. He knows he can play anywhere in the lineup, understands the moment when he's in it, and can make big shots. So
Yeah.
These guys have grown up since they're 10 years old. YBC's going to national tournaments. So making teams and playing at a high level is no stranger to them.
Yeah.
They're good.
I remember when I was coaching YBC out of our Heritage Lanes in Red Deer here, and we had a pretty good junior team, and I was looking at the results from the previous year, trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to have a chance to compete at the provincials? And I mean, the team average was like 214 or something. And I thought, holy man, our team's not that strong. Well, it was the team of Tim and Dexter the previous year, their last year of YBC, they averaged like 225, 230. So it was 214. And I mean, we ended up winning with like a 202 average, but they were just that good.
Yeah, they were. They were blessed with a group of players that they grew up with in YBC that pushed each other. Obviously, having a brother with the Tim and Dex, but there was also the Lou Oper brothers. There was also Derek Gall. There was also William Sutherland. There was a group of them that were able to push each other from a young age. That have been able to carry this on, at least the Wiseman brothers, into the adult ranks. And the both of them, when they get on a team, it's almost an automatic, to be honest with you, watching them play. So
well, and we've always, as a central team, again, we're spread out generally. Gino, typically the guys aren't bowling together all the time, where you have a team like Edmonton. These guys all played their play the match play leagues and the better leagues, and they're bowling together all the time. So you have that inherent team atmosphere on there anyways. And we knew as a central that Edmonton was always going to be tough because they're a good team as well. They're good players and they're a good team.
Yeah.
So, anytime you ever got ahead of them, they're going,
a little early on that one, but it did look a little bit different shot, didn't it?
It did. That's exactly it. You could see the difference. It just wasn't quite the same. And
good cover though by Sean. I mean, Sean with a miss, but was able to cover it up. So that's a big one. That could have been a big hole if he opened up.
Yes.
And Eric quickly there to cover the spare. So we're loaded for 7-8. There's a lot of marks in play.
So what do we got? 930 to 916. But the Dream Crushers got 3 doubles. So 1, 2, they got 3 doubles, and so this is the Kingpins are going to have really good, solid 9-10 now. Oh, we got a corner out of that. Okay, Shauna, chance here to put some pressure on. One good shot here.
Yeah, this spare is pretty big too for Victor.
Yeah.
Gives Gino that glimmer of hope if there's a miss.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that 12-point lead. Oh. Yeah.
And he did miss too. Commentator's jinx. Sorry, Vic. I think I did that to you twice.
Okay, now that one's pretty even now. No, actually, yeah. So
the top match is fairly even.
281, 218 to 260. So Gino's generally got like a 20-point lead. But Shauna just got roasted again on a corner pin. It seems like every time she hits that right side with her backup, it just goes straight across.
She does have there's a lot of action on that ball. So you're right. It hits these pins, and with the bases, it's gone.
Yeah. And she's the same as she has that same trouble at Heritage. She hits that right side, and it generally will go straight across the 3-pin and into there. So huge shot there by
both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dexter's kind of found his role here. Took a couple of frames, but he's got 4 in a row, and there are no doubters, aren't they?
Yeah.
So AJ's got pretty good control of his match. You want to sort of now start looking, AJ, hey, team points you can get.
Absolutely.
And Katie's struggled a little bit, and there's the tough one. I'm sure they'll Caitlin not being available today, Katie being the only female, is probably likely a pull to be had there, but couldn't. So a bit of the dangers that happens when you have the one female. They have a second female, just not available to play today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's a tough match. I mean, she hit the middle. I mean, she started with 2 plows right off the bat. She was pretty steady up until, she's really had the 2 misses here in 6 and 9. So, big spare by Sean there to keep his mark streaks going.
And huge shot coming up here for Tim Wiseman on a triple already.
Yeah, I'd like to match the brother. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
We'll leave this one up there just for a little bit longer for everybody to enjoy.
You gotta love that feeling. When you're on 3 in a row, you're going into 9, and you execute like that. There's no better feeling. No better feeling. Oh, that was a little heavier hit there for Eric. He left the other corner. Another big shot opportunity here for Adam. For them to again have 3 doubles going into 10. So this is another example. As a coach, I'm thinking, okay, we've got 3 doubles here. If we can get two more doubles out of that, I'm happy. And that's exactly what they did. They got two of the doubles still running. You'd love to get 3, but if you get 2 of the 3, nobody's perfect. So you expect that you can get at least 2 out of the 3 you're in. It's going to be okay. Okay. So what do we got there? 1090 to 1022?
Yeah.
Okay.
1095 to 1020, 1095 to 1022 with 3 marks versus 5 marks. So that's maybe a 30-ish, counting extras. 2 strikes, 3 spares.
The 2 doubles, right? It's going to come down to, if Dex and Tim could, either one of them can throw that first one, that could carry the total for sure.
So big shot for Victor. Interesting. Gino not up on the lanes, ready to go onto this one.
I'm not sure what.
Just mentally, watching, just wondering. Watching, seeing what's going on, know what's happening there.
That was good. See, now that forces Gino to do something on this ball just by him throwing that strike.
Yeah.
He's got 251. Spare strike gives him 251 and 261 for
Victor.
For Victor if he bangs out. But if Gino throws this first strike here, now he's definitely in the dark. Oh, that's a rare yank. Holy.
Yeah.
And of course, Victor's going to jump all over that. 221, 251 max for Gino. So basically, he needs more than 5. Victor needs more than 5 to shut him out. Victor come off a 348 game last game, so he's in good form.
Oh, tough one. Gino pushes through the hole. I think interesting would be, why the time that he would have taken there before he was going up on the lane so frequently after Eric, and then just took his time to not have the control of the lane. Allowed Victor that time to come in and do his thing.
Wow.
Tough finish for Gino.
Yeah.
Solid double there for Victor. With the 600 double.
Yeah.
Come start as you lead off, exactly what you want to do.
And Victor, 2 of his, he went double punch. So, he was, 1 ball away from 320. And Dex he's just rolling along.
Oh, Shauna gets it. Good job. Yeah.
She carried it with the right pocket. Nice. Oh, yeah, good game. 298.
I think it sounds like the Dream Crushers might have a fan base behind them a little bit.
Yeah.
There might be some background cheering you can hear that's not all just the Dream Crushers.
Okay, so basically the Kingpins have got the 3rd match. 4th match is going to the Dream Crushers. And then, so it's going to come down to that anchor match now. So we got a chance to get 2 off them. Every point is huge.
Every point's huge for sure.
Yeah.
And there's points on the board to be had. So Shauna just keep grinding, keep pushing every shot here to set her team up. to earn the points.
Yeah.
So
That finish by Victor and finish by Dexter has really separated them for totals now.
Especially on that double you talked about,
Yeah.
Greg, right? The double on 8 and 9, and then Tim or Dexter comes and throws the corner strike.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of points here.
Yeah. So look, they got 45. They've got 105 points in the 10th frame, just the 10th frame alone for the top 3 bowlers. You know, with Gino counting 6, that's a huge
on the strike too. 6 count, right? Could have had.
Yeah. Nice game by Shauna there.
Tim's got a solid day going. First game obviously a victory here against Okanagan, and now setting himself up for a big one this one.
Yeah. I think Shauna scored 229, but I thought she bowled a much better game than that. You know,
yes.
You know, you don't always get what you throw, and I mean, great shot by AJ there.
Yeah, so these are lots of bonus points here for the kingpins. AJ can run a bunch.
66. So yeah, that's
So a punch here for Tim gets max 286, leaves the door open for Sean to bang out and to win a match. But well thrown couple games for Tim.
Yeah. Yep. Steady as usual.
Solid game for AJ with the 258.
Yeah.
Getting the win. That's good for the team there. AJ to get the victory and win a match.
So Sean got, what has he got? 194.
Yes.
What's he got there?
So it looks like it's a 218.
218. Okay.
Yeah. So you're 248. You're 293.
293 max. Yeah.
He needs them all.
A double.
Yeah. Oh, he got tapped on the corner. So he's 46, he's 76. So that match will go to Tim.
Yeah.
Adam with the strike, so he'll have max 263. So that match there looks like it's done. So it looks like we're going to be another 6-2.
6-2, yeah. Again, great scores.
So 6-2, 5-3. It's not like we had any 7s or 8s
no.
today.
And I think that just shows the caliber of players all around, right? You know, there are just so many good players, and it's tough to beat anybody on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I mean, Adam shoots 267, 263, and he's going to get skunked.
And a 1297, just short of 1300.
Yeah. I think the Rose, they topped the high so far. They had a 1360.
Okay, yeah,
the Toppler Roses. So that's our so far to date. That's our highest team total. Whoever would have thought that the highest team total would come out of Toppler?
Yeah, but again, every match looks like they're over 12.5. So all teams got to know that they're in matches. You got to shoot to win. There's not going to be 1100 thrown at you.
Yeah.
As Eric goes and finishes up with the 3-pin.
302. Nice game.
Solid, great day of bowling. Will allow the managers to come back in. Managers, if you're listening or somebody's listening, I'd like to also chat with Gino Zebarth would be great, and Victor Fobert, if they can come in and join you, managers. So if we can send Gino to the back with Robert, and Victor, if you can come join Danny, that'd be great to have a little chat with you guys. Gotta wait for them to jump back in.
So was that 1253 for Kingpins?
1263 it looks like
62.
for Kingpins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I had written down. I just wasn't sure. So, I mean, you look at it like that's 34 pins. And with the amount of strikes and marks thrown, 34 pins is nothing.
It's not very much at all, is it?
Well, and I mean, you don't want to single anyone out, but I mean, Gino throwing 3-pin through the hole
Yeah.
6 count. I mean, that's
I'm sure he may not want to talk about it, but that's kind of why I said have him come back. And and he had a huge first game, so worth it there. So I see Danny's in the So Danny's in the back. We'll bring him in. Danny, we're looking to see if somebody can bring in Victor as well. If anybody's listening, send Victor to the back with Danny to join in the stream. That would be great. We'll add you in.
Okay.
Oh, Danny, I'm not sure why you're not in there at the moment. Let's try this again. There we go. There's Danny. How you doing, Danny? Good to see you. I'm just going to remove this guy. Go like this. Go like that. Danny, good work. Solid, match day. A couple of victories. I mean, no blowouts with 8-0s or anything, but at the end of the day, got to be happy with the performance the team put forth together today. Danny's coming in on another stream, so we'll add him there. Hey, Danny, can you hear me now? Maybe a little technical difficulty. Maybe can't hear. Robert, we got you there.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, so Danny, we're asking. Obviously not the 8-0s or the blowouts or anything, but end of the day, a couple of victories and one team totals. Happy with your performance here from your team, the Dream Crushers. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it went well today. I mean, all these people are bowling in a pro league. There's not any easy matches. So I don't think anybody, was thinking we're going to go out and go 8-0, 8-0, but it was a good bowling by everybody today. It's very strong caliber bowling, and I think it's just going to continue going forward. So,
yeah. So Victor obviously was huge for you both games, but that finish there from him was big to set the tone for the team. Chat about Victor obviously coming with the clutch triple at the end.
Yeah, he's just a solid all-around bowler. He's been like that his whole bowling career. So having him in leadoff, he really does set the tone for the rest of the bowlers behind him, and I really expect that from him because he is a good leader. So
in that game, the team picked her up a little bit. Sort of something to watch going. On Katie's day as well.
Katie threw some good balls. She struggled a bit, but I mean, at the end of it's everybody's just trying their best to do what they can, and she'll get it. She's a good bowler. She'll get comfortable and get in the groove.
Perfect. And Robert, for you, tough finish. You guys in there a chance. Several matches, got obviously a couple of team points in there. Would have hopefully for the team total would have been nice. But at the end of the day, got to be happy with your team the way they played today.
Oh, for sure. They never quit. We ran into head pin problems, got roasted on a few corners that we didn't pick up early in the match. We came back and, like you say, got back in them pretty well, all of them. And then, Gino had trouble there in the 10th, and he could have had that one. And, it was close. Proud of every one of them. We're playing a very, very tough team, obviously, and proud of every one of them. They did so good.
Yeah, we were going to ask that. Gino... We're asking to see if we could bring him on and pick his brain. Probably doesn't want to chat with us about that one. But
sure.
What happened in 10? We noticed a lot of the frames, Eric would finish his frame, get a strike, and then Gino would be right up on the lane to lead off. Whereas in the 10th frame, Gino seemed to almost stand back a bit and watch Victor. I don't know if he was watching or if there's something going on, or if he, and then just did he lose mental focus, or any thoughts on what happened there for the 10th for him?
We actually, our feed on our TV that we were watching, we kind of lost it for a minute.
Okay.
So when we brought it back, we just turned it on and we were way behind the actual live stream. So we had to fast forward a little bit to get caught up again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
explains it. So you didn't know where he was. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know where their lineup was at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
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 We noticed that he was
Yeah.
taking the aggressive line after Eric, right? So it was just sort of different
Yeah.
for him in the 10th
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
didn't know if that contributed to,
Yeah.
to obviously a 6
Yeah.
count in 10 is probably not the best that he would.
Yeah. No, no.
So
But-
yeah, so one of the things that you're going to run into with this format is
Yeah.
this type of thing, right?
Yeah.
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 But-
He stuck a little bit on the first one and kind of dumped it, then dropped the second one, and the third one I don't know. He just might have been frustrated.
But some good things though from your team. Obviously, AJ,
great
you're getting a
things.
win, solid there.
Yeah.
Shauna, dug
Yeah.
in.
Everybody-
Sean Schwartz, great
Yeah.
matches from him.
Schwartz had a great day.
So
And I told him he had to bowl good to make up for Baker.
yeah. Well, keep your head high. Obviously, Kingpin's solid day too. Both of you guys, thanks for joining us today. You got a couple of weeks off, I think, before you play again, and enjoy it. But good job, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're.
That was fun to watch. Those were some good matches, and
thanks, Greg.
yeah,
Good job there.
lots of fun.
To the 5-pin universe and Dream Crushers. Great job. Great bowling. It was
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah, it
We-
was good.
we
Good
even
day
got-
for everybody.
We even got a crowd here. We got about 15 people cheering our team on, and yeah, it was good. Had a good
Well,
time.
that's great. We sort of chatted about that too, is about in the smaller community, Stettler, right? If there's some fan base that can get behind the Kingpins, and I obviously heard some
You bet.
fans in behind the Dream Crushers as well. I mean, this is something that
Yeah.
we want to build, right? Bring people
Yeah,
in,
you
cheer you
betcha.
on. It gets the
Yeah.
whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
And I
only
know
looking
what-
looking to get bigger and better. So
Yeah.
good work
You know
for week
what?
2.
Yep.
Good work for week 2. That's a wrap. We'll let you guys go. We'll wrap up our end and do our thing, setting up for next week. So take care, Danny, Robert. Thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Okay,
Thanks,
perfect.
guys. Great job.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah.
job.
All right.
Smile, Danny. It's okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, so solid week. Greg, we'll just do our quick commercial. We'll come back and do a wrap up, set the stage for the next week, and then we're done for the day too, bud.
Perfect.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
All right. Well, solid day today there, Greg. Final thoughts. Who would you say if you maybe had a player of the day or a man of the match or something like that? We had a couple of potentials, but who would your pick be for player of the day?
Well, first of all, I just like the opportunity to see players that I wouldn't otherwise see. So seeing the Eclipse play, I mean, not knowing those bowlers very well. I mean, a couple I've seen around, but for the most part, I really enjoy watching how players play and how they interact, and seeing players that are you don't otherwise get a chance to see. So I really enjoyed that. I mean, I was pretty impressed with Alan there, Mike Elder there. I mean, basically, he was pretty solid, not knowing the guy at all, and how solid he played in that anchor position. It was fun to watch. And seeing Kelsey, I would like to talk to her more about her style and how people arrive at what they do and why they do things. I mean, to me, I find that pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the two that stick out as well from the Eclipse. Obviously, Kingpin's had a couple of good players from the Dream Crushers. I think my overall player of the day would probably be Victor. I think he really set the stage first in that first match. Big 300, and then being able to come back and throw 3 huge clutch shots in the 10th frame of the second match. So 600 double. Is a great start. Tim had a great day too. Dexter came in and threw some big strikes. I think overall for my man of the day player of the day would probably be Victor Fulbert.
Yeah. So what did you think after playing this in a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? What did you like about playing it?
Oh, I love it. I think this is just a fantastic format. I love the open format. I can't wait to keep playing it. It's the tough thing is that my team played first, kind of the guinea pigs. Had a bit of a slower start, but we had good matches. So we're just looking forward to the season get going. And the tough thing is now you play 2 matches and you're done, right? Whereas the Open, you have 10 hours and you have 4 days. You're not playing it now for 2 months. But I love the format. I love the concept. This is great going forward, and it's going to be really good for the bowling world.
Do you see how many people are actually on watching then? You
can see. So I can in the background. I can see how many are watching, and that sometimes today we are well over 50 people. Nice. that were watching. We're down now, of course, but it's well over 50, and we'll look to continue to build. We'll advertise, we'll share, we'll subscribe. Sunday mornings will become routine. Different time zones, I'm sure, but that's a solid number for week 3 or week 2.
Absolutely, and I think it's just going to get better. Like I said, I really enjoyed watching the results of the first week, and then seeing this and different teams. When you start getting a team from Timmins and a team from Thunder Bay, that type of stuff involved, and Grand Prairie, and I mean, you're getting, Medicine Hat. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
So let's just run through a couple of our fun overlays that we had today. So everybody liked the Tim Wiseman overlay, the Dexter, right? The Adam, what the heck? Dexter's a bit too nice in this fist pump. But had some fun added features to this here today. We've got some more coming to you, and each week we're going to keep growing and getting better. If anybody's got ideas of what they'd like to see or want to do, fire us a message. If you want to be a sponsor, fire 5PN Universe a message. Lots of opportunity, lots of people watching these things. So let's
the bowlers completed like a bio.
There's a bunch of them that are in, so we can build on that for us as commentary and start talking about those things. It's gonna get the first couple of weeks underway, and then see what we need to add. So let's queue up week 3 matches coming up next week. So here we are. First match will be the Timmins Mighty Plex versus the GP Holy Rollers. And then the Timmins Mighty Plex will play against their counterpart, the TBA Bowling Club. And then finishing off with the GP Holy Rollers and the TBA Bowling Club. So some powerhouse teams again, really qualified bowlers that can play in all these ones. Looking forward to having another great show and people playing. So some new faces that'll be out there playing. People may not know a ton of them, but of course we've got the Greg DeGrazias will be playing next week, the Taylor Michelles that we know, but the GP Holy Roller, Scott Hoka, Carter Stretch, guys up north from there, the Tompkins brothers will be playing, and then the other one, just looking quickly, is the Timmins Mighty Plex. So that's the group with Al Paquette and Daryl Gauthier, Jess Levine that has played. So some great shooters there that we're looking forward to seeing on the show next week and have another fun day.
And again, a bunch of some names of people I don't know. So I'm quite excited about seeing these guys.
Yeah. So hopefully people get behind their teams. Here are all the teams, the different divisions. Lots of cool logos and teams to get behind and support. So I think we'll wrap it up there. That ends for match day number 2, week 2. So thanks, Greg, for joining us today. We'll have you back on. I thought it was a great show.
I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of it.
Okay, everyone, take care. Have a great Sunday, or whenever you're watching this, have a great day. Hope everybody's good, and keep them straight and knock them all down.